On Wednesday, March 10th, 2021, I conducted an interview with Dareson, aka Wings of Oblivion, the owner of ZombiesWorldRecords.com. During the interview, we discussed Dareson's past, how he joined the community, how he acquired the site, where the site stands now, and what we can expect in the future. This is the full, uncut interview in its entirety. Unfortunately, the last hour of this interview was actually lost, but all that you need to see is here. But first, only a small percentage of people watching this are actually subscribed, so if you enjoy this video, feel free to subscribe. It's free, and you can always change your mind. Also, feel free to follow me on Twitch, twitch.tv/MrJZM. All right. Last chat question before we get into the deep discussion. Zealous asks, who is in this discussion? So why don't we all take a chance to introduce ourselves one at a time?
Okay, I'll go first. So, obviously I'm Dareson. I've been in the zombies community since 2012. I think when Call of the Dead came out, that was when I first joined the community. We have here my wife, Miss Danny, Miss Daniela Herrera herself.
Hello.
Danny, do you remember, how come I, found out about zombies?
I asked you how come you never played zombies mode, and then it went downhill from there.
Oh, wow, so it's your fault.
And how old
Pretty
were we?
much. Like 16 or 17.
Yeah. We also have here pretty much my work wife, Goddess.
Oh my god.
She's like the nicest person, and it's such a blast talking to her because she's so hilarious. But at the same time, when she gets serious, just really, really intelligent person that understands the community pretty well. We also have Jay Balance. Jay Balance and me go back, how many years, Jay?
I didn't like Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2 days. Quite a while.
And you've pretty much
Good times.
you've pretty much have had a front seat to all the trolls.
Yeah, most of the shenanigans. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And of course, we also have Link. Link I met the other day through Goddess. He's a really, really cool dude. We even exchanged some life advice, and I like the guy. And then I think through Link, you were the one who sent me the videos for Mr. J.
Yes.
So Link sent me these videos. The first one was a compilation of some of the funniest moments of me trolling in the zombies community and modding games. This is back in 2014. And you know how they say before you die, life flashes before your eyes. I started watching Mr. J's video, and it was just the funniest thing that I've seen. Then Link sent me a second video, right, which was what happened to CWR. And there I got to kind of meet his persona, he was narrating, and man, there's all these YouTubers that they sound like they're reading off a script. Mr. J, he's such a natural at just he actually understands the community. He's a world record player, so he's not one of these noob YouTubers that just makes content, for money or whatever. And he knew what he was talking about. And it just it hit me. After watching the funny compilation video and then watching the serious video where he was discussing things, I was this guy is it. This guy he deserves to be the next Noah J456 or whatever. This guy has some serious potential.
I appreciate that. Yeah, so
Another thing I'd like to add on that before we continue is, so in short, yeah, me and him were starting to talk, and we ended up getting into ZWR territory, and I was trying to say some stuff of what the community thought of him, which is how the videos of Mr. JZM, I thought he did a good job on his videos. That's why I shared him saying, hey, this is what the community sees you as. And that's when we put together this interview.
Link, you said something about turning on your webcam. You can be
Nah.
like the mascot of everyone watching in the audience.
I'm good on that.
Okay.
I want to be paying pretty close attention to chat so everything stays calm.
Gotcha. But if at any point you want to turn on the webcam like you usually do, it just adds like another dimension to just like the conversation and the topics.
It'd be mostly me, stroking my tiny beard. So.
Whoa, oh, come on.
What?
Let's keep it PG.
Oh my
heck?
goodness.
Jesus Christ.
Well, I'd say since we've all had a chance to introduce ourselves, why don't we get into the real meat of this interview?
So, I put a lot of thought into it, and I thought about how this entire thing should start after we introduced ourselves. I came to the conclusion that it would be a really good idea to start out with a direct message to Axel Berlin and all the staff and admins that he took away from the website when he quit. Because, usually people, like when there's a podcast or a video, usually people only watch like the first 15 minutes. So if you want to put something there, you really have to do it at the beginning. So I didn't write anything up, so I'm just going to speak from the heart. Exo Berlin, I know you're watching this. I know you're listening. I wanted to say that I am sorry to you. I think it is your nature to be a good person. I think that all the things you've done with taking down the website, trying to clone the website with your friend Norman, trying to do like a hostile takeover of the leaderboard's website, messaging the staff that are joining the real ZWR, all those things. I don't think you're doing those things because you're a bad guy. I think you're doing those things because you are very, very upset. And I think I have a good idea of why you're so angry. I've tried my best to talk to you and, talk to your friends Zeomix and Norman. Obviously, like after threatening me and everything with, either we buy you out or we take down the website and, hold the Discord and the Twitter with 4,000 people hostage to promote our new website to them. And, the stuff about the hitman and everything, that Norman said he was going to pay on the dark web to have me killed because that would be cheaper than buying the domain name.
Some Silk Road shit right there.
It is. I think you guys haven't done any of those things because you're bad people. I think that even like really intelligent and really good people, when they get big mad, like the part of the brain that we use for logic and reason kind of gets turned off, and we go back to our most primal base instincts. There's the lizard part of the brain, like that's no joke, that's a real thing. And it's sad to see that you guys are behaving like ZR lizards instead of your usual selves. I admit, Exo Berlin, that there are very few people that are as good as you at running the team. I think Amir and Zeomix are definitely just as good. Beyond like a small group of 3 or 4 people, it's you guys are definitely the best. I am very grateful, and I know the community is very grateful for all the thousands of hours that you've dedicated to processing submissions, to creating rules and leaderboards, to organizing the team, to training new staff members that start out with very little knowledge, and just in a couple weeks, some of them even end up being like staff member of the month. You've done a tremendous job, and there's no way to take that away from you. Having all that said, I think you're very angry. I think the things that you and your friends are doing You guys are pretty much running on a full tank of anger, rage, and hate. I think I've told you this before, but in life, when one tries to achieve something great, the best fuel for achieving great things or even trying to achieve them is always love. When you love something, when you love someone, when you love an ideal enough to dedicate your entire life and existence to it, a lot of things are possible. But when your tank, when your energy source is anger, hate, rage, it is more explosive and it is more powerful at the beginning, but it drains so much energy from the person that you begin to lose momentum pretty soon. And before you know it, you've lost all motivation. And all the plans that you had when you were angry, none of them ever end up happening. So I would really, really hope that, it's been a couple days. I'm sure a couple more days are going to pass. I really hope that you, Exo Berlin, Zeomix, and Norman, your two, I guess, right and left hand man, I really hope you guys cool down. I hope you guys really go back and think about all the things that have been said, all the threats that you guys have put out there. I know you are planning and sitting down with a lawyer because a lot of the things you're planning and you've been planning are illegal. I think any reasonable lawyer would advise you that it's not worth it, that they can't even give you advice because it's not a good idea. You've also put messages out there that you are currently shopping for liability insurance from a company. That is very good. That is smart of you, because if this does go to court, whether I win or whether we just waste time and money, at the end, usually one party has to pay damages, and having liability insurance, definitely helps not lose everything in life that one has worked hard to build and create. So obviously, you're playing with fire. Obviously, you're an intelligent person. I think you're a good man. Just take a step back, Exo Berlin. Think about everything that you're doing. I realized something yesterday. I was thinking to myself, and I said, why is Exo Berlin completely acting out of character? He's a good person. Why have these things happen? Besides, obviously, he's angry. I've come to the conclusion that most of these things that have happened have all been because of Norman. Norman exposed himself and his true nature when he offered to pay me $40,000 in Bitcoin, and then said, when we were discussing it, then he said, no, it would be much cheaper to just hire a hitman. I think that this idea of wanting to create a new website, wanting to try to replace ZWR, from the very beginning, Exo Berlin, it hasn't been your idea. It's been Norman's idea. He was the web developer, and he, when I hired him, I said, Norman, I know you're a very talented web developer. What I need you to do is, I need you to work on the website and create updates over time so we can make the website the best it can be. I think within days, he said that what his true intentions were, they were to create a brand new website from the ground up, which he's been working on for over a year, and it's nowhere finished. So all of this plotting, all of this conniving, when I really think about it, Exo Berlin, I don't think any of this is your idea. I think you've been doing your best job to serve the community for years now. You're a very passionate man. You really care. You're a good leader. I think all of this is because of Norman. Norman wants to own a website. And, he wants to feel that he created something on his own. I mean, even times where I asked Norman, I said, Norman, if you're going to be creating a ZWR 2.0, don't you think it would be a good idea to bring other developers in? because I mean, it's like you don't build Facebook on your own, you don't build Twitter on your own. You need teams of, at the very minimum, like 4 or 5 people working together that have, you know, each of them complement each other with different skills. When I said that to Norman, no, he's like a lone wolf. He wants to create this website, and since you guys are so close, honestly, Exo Berlin, I think Norman has been the snake whispering in your ear. And I'm not an innocent person. I've definitely, we've had very, very strong conversations behind the scenes. I know you haven't always liked the direction those conversations went in. Since people started messaging me, telling me that you guys were plotting on moving the website to a different domain and all this, I became very paranoid. Now, when I look back, I realized that paranoia definitely made me confront you and Zeomix on various different instances and demand an answer from you guys of if what I was hearing was true. And I think that's kind of what started destroying the relationship between all of us. I mean, Zeomix himself said that he felt like he was like trapped between like 2 crazy people that are both stubborn and just have like these really big visions. And he was talking about you and me. You know, thank you, Zeomix. Thanks to the backups that you were providing, we were able to restore the website after Exo Berlin took them down. I think you're also a good person, Zeomix. I think you've also tried serving the community. The only thing that I think is a little bit difficult about you is you are loyal to everyone and you are loyal to nobody. You've kind of been a double spy. You've been giving me all the information from Exo Berlin and Norman, and you've also been spying on me and talking to them. I don't think that's unethical. I think that you felt that serving 2 masters was like the best way of making sure that we kept everything together and that we got along. I'm sorry for putting you in that position, Zeomix. You've been serving the community. You've been serving ZWR since the first day that I bought it. You were in that first call when we did that discussion stream on the first day, and you volunteered to be the leader of the website. I know you're upset that when I met Exo Berlin and Norman, instead of giving you the position that you were asking for, you know, we decided to put everything having to do with the website in Exo Berlin's hands. You know, I know that's something that deeply upsets you. You know, all the times you've complained to me about the way that Exo Berlin thinks and behaves and how he runs the team like it's a military, and how difficult he is to convince of things once his mind is set. That hasn't been fair. Looking back, I think you should have stayed the leader of the website. So I'm sorry, Zeomix, and you've been a true friend to me from the beginning, and you've served the community and ZWR. To Norman, I don't really know what to say to Norman. Besides that, you're really intelligent. I think you're like a god tier developer. I mean, you're definitely a master at your craft. I would be lying if I said that I am not scared about the death threat you made about hiring a hitman. If you have enough money to offer me 40,000 in Bitcoin, seriously, you have more than enough money to hire 2 hitmans. The first one to kill me, and the second hitman to kill the first if he doesn't kill me. So when you make a threat like that, I definitely take it seriously. However, I do not make decisions out of fear. I do not reason with unreasonable people. And no amount of threats from you, Norman, or anyone else is going to make me do anything that wouldn't be the best for ZWR and for the community. I am flexible. I am reasonable. Once you guys calm down, I am more than willing to give you guys everything you want. I still hope that we can piece everything back together, because we were doing a pretty good job at serving the community and a pretty kick-ass job with ZWR. So you guys have a lot of things to think about. I don't hate any of you. I'm not even angry at you guys. I'm just very surprised and disappointed, even though I kind of saw this coming very like months ago. And that's all I have to say to the three of you.
That was a nice opening statement. I think hopefully Zio, Exo Berlin, and Norman are watching. And even if they don't watch the whole thing, I'm sure that they want to hear from you that you're willing to talk to them calmly and listen and be willing to give them what they want and almost compromise. But even you said yesterday, and you were saying now, that you're fully willing to do whatever is best for the community and whatever is best for them.
Yes, and
So,
you know, I've calculated at least 6 or 7 agreements we can reach, which all of them favor Axel Berlin and his aims and goals. So whatever they want, I'm willing to give to them. We just have to talk to each other, be reasonable, and try to reach an understanding. Yeah, it's pretty much, I mean, the ball is in their court, on their court, and they decide, you know, what the next step is.
I think that's good. Hopefully they'll hear that, even if they don't hear the rest of this. So I think we should get back to, you know, what has happened in the last week and what you said you have 6 or 7 options. I think we'll get back to that a little bit later. But what I want to do now is I want to start from the beginning, because I think a lot of people in the community, especially, you know, the casual community, the people that enjoy looking at world records and enjoy using the site, but would never go for world records themselves, most of these people actually don't even know what's going on. And more importantly, most of these people don't know who you are. So I think I wanted to start from the very beginning. And I wanted to ask you, how did you originally get into this community?
So I joined I joined the community back in 2012 when my wife, who back then was my girlfriend, asked me how come I didn't play zombies. I only played multiplayer on Black Ops 1. And I started playing and, you know, started meeting people on PlayStation 3 and talking to them. And we would go for high rounds. Like back then in the in-game leaderboards on PlayStation 3, the highest round you could get was on co-op. You couldn't, I mean, solo, if you played BO1 on solo, like it wouldn't even count on the leaderboards. There was no leaderboard for solo. It was all like 2 players, 3 players, or 4 players. And the highest round you could get was round 99, 2 hours and 59 minutes and 59 seconds. That was the highest thing that could go on the leaderboard. So, you know, I would play with all these people like Big Dog DeLuca, something Killer. What was that guy's name? Well, just all these like really like OGs from like back in the past and PlayStation 3. Even Frenzy was on PlayStation 3 before Xbox and all that. So we were all going for high rounds, doing co-op, and you know, that was around the time that I found out about zombierecords.net, which was made that same year in 2012 by some guy named Sithbass from the UK. He used to live in London. Yeah, he was the creator of zombierecords.net. It was a WordPress website. They didn't even have a developer. Eventually, you know, a lot of people that know about Sithbass knows, you know, they know what happened to him. He got exposed for being like a huge fraud, you know, like a cheater and a glitcher and all that. And he had to transfer the website to other people. And pretty much since then, like, not just ZWR, but the original, like, zombierecords.net, which later became zombierecords.com, which later became zombierecords.co.uk. Through all its different reincarnations, it's always been exchanging hands like it's a game of like hot potato, which I don't really know what to make of that. I guess it's just the social dynamics in the community and kind of like the culture of things, and just every time the website has a leader, he gets called out, and then he has to quit and, you know, transfer things to someone else. And it is what it is. And I think it's probably always going to be like that. Because even with like the different websites, like history has repeated itself like over and over. You know, Sithbass used to be like a glitcher and a modder. Back in like 2014, like I would like mod games, splice games, get caught just for the attention, then like troll everyone who would get mad. Like the modded games would go on the leaderboards for zombierecords.net and .com, and then, you know, like weeks later, like I would show like, no, the game was modded, and I would just do that to make fun of the website and like the staff members that process the submissions.
So at the time, you had a number of records that were modded.
Yes.
I know there was a Kino round 218, Shang, I think round 127, console world record.
Yeah, so
and then
either 127 or 129, something like that.
Yeah. And then your No Man's Land 378.
So the No Man's Land game was what started like my whole reputation in the community, because the biggest, just best player at that time, Mado Master, what were the numbers after his name? Mado Master 21 or 27, something like that. Mado Master, you know, and he must have really like gotten trolled and like pissed off, because I was a nobody. I was just like some casual, just, you know, I was like a ZR hater. Like I would, you know, yeah, I would mess with like the old website and stuff. So Mado Master got so angry that like the modded 378 game got accepted on zombierecords.com, that he actually made like a video with Alvarito Owns, who was like the best No Man's Land player at the time from Spain. And for some reason, like the video was mono instead of stereo. So like you could only hear the video from like one channel if you were wearing, you know, earphones. So they made like this commentary video just exposing. He was like, no, man, like look at 2 minutes and 40 seconds how this zombie just disappeared, and look how their health goes down, and look how he shoots 2 shots but only 1 shot, you know, gives him points. And they went
did a lot of investigative research.
Yeah, like you know, like zombie scientists. So it was just hilarious. That video, can you tell me how many views that video has gotten? It's ridiculous, right? It went viral.
Find it. I'll open it right now. Where is, let's, No Man's Land. It has 33,000 views, just over.
Yeah, so
21.
So I wouldn't say that video, but I mean that those viewers are all from like every single like world record player in the community, like casuals, and you know, then watch that was like big
you can
name
see
people.
The top comments are from Steve, Relaxing End.
Yeah. So basically, I mean, I wouldn't say the video that Mado Master made me famous, but it definitely made me infamous. I mean, right after that, right? I almost became like the boogeyman of the community. And then like the boogeyman persona just took on like its own attributes. People would disguise, like they would discuss Wings of Oblivion, like, oh man, like the other day I heard him like do this and do that, and he was talking to these people, and like they would just add their own story to like the Wings of Oblivion like persona and reputation. So before we knew it, like, I mean, I like to think I'm like a pretty like regular normal guy, at least you know, in real life, but inside the world record Twitch and YouTube community, I just became like the biggest boogeyman. And there's so many stories that are told of me that some of them are true, some of them are partially true, and then just some extreme things that they say are just completely made up. Like, what do they say? Like stuff about something about like credit cards, something else about like swatting or DDoSing people. And, you know, I've been a huge troll, but where I've always drawn the line is what's legal and what's not legal. I am someone who cares a lot about the law. I mean, there's literally been people on Twitch that as like a prank to their friend, they've swatted them, and then like the police shows up, shoots the dad dies, and then I mean, I think the last guy who did that got like 23 years in prison.
Yeah, that story. I remember that story went viral. It wasn't Call of Duty related, but
so that's the line that I don't cross. I don't do illegal things. I joke around. I used to troll a lot. I used to like talk crap in people's chats. There was even this one time where like this streamer, he was doing webcam, he just started crying because this was like before Twitch got acquired by Amazon. So security was like really low back then. You could just like get banned in a chat, create another account. I had a email generator which could just create an account for me in 15 seconds flat, like verified and everything on Twitch, and I could type in chat again. And I wasn't like the only one doing this. I mean, there was like Bu Fleming, there was Sonate Hawk, and just dozens of other like, I guess like zombie like degenerates on Twitch, and they would just wreak havoc. You know, obviously you can't do stuff like that anymore because like now if you ban someone permanently in your chat, Twitch bans their IP, and then even if they make like 20 million accounts, they can't type in chat after that without changing their IP and the device they're on, because the device you're on has a MAC address which goes beyond the IP. So because of stuff like that, yeah, it's I pissed off a lot of people in the community like really early on, especially people like The Frenzy. He quit streaming like 3 times because of me, because he was like really obsessed with reputation. And I mean, here, let me put it this way. So this is not the first time that someone tries like creating like a copycat website or taking over ZR or ZWR. Frenzy back in the day, after Sithbass got exposed as being a fraud, like a huge modder, Frenzy offered to buy zombierecords.net from Sithbass. But I mean, he was pretty much like manipulating him. He was like, dude, your website is going to die. Like, you know, we all know that you have modded games. You know, Wings of Oblivion and pretty much everyone else has been making videos exposing your games. Like, you died with quick revive, bro. So Frenzy was like, you know, your only option is to sell me the website. Sithbass, man, maybe like one of the most interesting figures ever in the community. Like the guy to this day, like I got nothing but respect for him. I don't necessarily agree with him, and you know, there's been a lot of rumors of him like doing some sketchy stuff, but just very, very intelligent, almost like in a like anime type of way, like a light, like a light from Death Note, like Light Yagami or something. Just like a very like calculating, methodical guy, Sithbass. So Sithbass did not sell Zombie Records to Frenzy after he got exposed by the community. Instead, he gave it to Firefly64. She was like this 56-year-old lady from Florida, and she pretty much became like, I guess like the Exo Berlin, if you will. Like she was running the staff team and, you know, making the decisions and stuff. So what Frenzy did, I mean, Frenzy was like foaming at the mouth. Like he really, really wanted to take zombierecords.net from Sithbass, because Frenzy is like one of those people, like one of those YouTubers or Twitch personalities. He's very obsessed with reputation. He has a big ego. He wants to be loved by everyone. So he just saw like zombierecords.net as just, you know, like the perfect tool for all that. So what Frenzy did was he created a copycat website called zombielegends.net. I think you can go on the Wayback Machine and still find like images of it. So he created zombielegends.net. He talked to all the big world record players in the community, said, don't support zombierecords.net. Come over to my website. We're taking over, blah, 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 blah. You know, like villains and like a Marvel movie.
I still remember that.
You remember that. So you were around back then. The just like CBC, the website TTS made fairly recently, Zombie Legends was like dead on arrival. I think it was popular for like a couple weeks and then it got shut down. Now, this is where it all begins. The reason why Frenzy shut down Zombie Legends was because Sithbas sent him Sithbas' attorney, his lawyer, sent Frenzy because I think Frenzy had been like doxxed in the community, so people knew where he lived and his name and all that. So Sithbas sent Frenzy a cease and desist letter. That's how you start like the whole legal process. Once you receive a cease and desist letter, whatever you're doing that is illegal, you have to stop immediately. So even if it's not necessarily proven yet that it's illegal, you have to shut it down, because if it does get proven of being illegal, then you have to pay for damages and you go to court and all that. So I remember this as soon as, because Frenzy used to be on Skype with like, I rack him up and everything, so there were screenshots from back then. As soon as Frenzy received the letter in the mail and like his dad and his grandma like saw that letter, I mean, I can only imagine how that conversation went. Like, dude, like, what are you doing on the internet? Like, haven't I told you spend too much time on the internet and you're talking to strangers and doing all this stuff? So he received the letter, and that day, he told the developer shut down the website. And that was the day that Zombie Legends died, because Frenzy knew that if Sithbas took him to court, I mean, the types of things that could happen would be amazing. And even if Sithbas did not win the lawsuit against Frenzy for copying zombierecords.com or .net maybe back then, you know, just usually legal battles, I mean, there's all sorts of reasons. Like, attorneys obviously want to milk it as much as possible. It gets dragged out. So you get sued, you can be in court months to maybe years, and you have to pay an attorney. I mean, in most places it's like $300 an hour. So most people settle outside of court because, I mean, even if you win or don't win, no one wants to be put up with that. I guess now in 2021, you might not go to court physically. It would probably be over Zoom, but still, like, you have to pay for your legal representation, and it's a nightmare that no one who has common sense wants to get involved with. So that's what happened to Frenzy. Sithbas sent him that legal document saying, hey man, I'm taking you to court. Frenzy thought about it and said, no, I'm shutting it down. And that was it. That was the first time that someone tried creating a copycat website to compete with zombierecords.net, and it completely failed. So I mean, that definitely left like a precedent in the zombies community, because you know that's what happens in a situation like that. And it doesn't matter if you live internationally or not, because you know, so like the website's an American website right now. It would all be under the my understanding is it would be under the American legal system, which would make it incredibly expensive for someone else living overseas. And like the attorneys they can get over there might not be 100% familiar with like American law. But you know, I regress. That's pretty much what happened with Sithbas and Frenzy and Zombie Legends and all that. And pretty much the rest is history. Zombierecords.net kept growing. It had different managers leading the website, just growing and growing. Eventually it got its first real developer, because the website used to be WordPress. Someone made like a real custom, you know, like a real website, which I mean, that was zombierecords.com. And yeah, and then the website has only been growing since then. I mean, now it's averaging 2 million views a month. And when I bought it 2 years ago, it was getting like 300,000 a month. So, you know, it's definitely grown a lot.
So I'll ask you, back in the day, you know, you said that you were a big troll, right? You faked a lot of records on purpose. You were botting streamers, including the Frenzy. Did you enjoy trolling the community back then?
Did you say botting?
Or like making new accounts?
Yeah, I would make alts. I never botted anyone. That's completely different. That's
what I meant, like making alts.
Yeah, I would make alts to talk in chats after I got banned. Yep, that's true.
Did you enjoy like kind of being known as the community troll?
Let me put it this way, right? So so in real life, I'm like a very, very serious person. You know, I run multiple small businesses, and I have to be like really, really serious and put up with a lot of stress in real life. Even when I was going to like university and high school and everything, like, you know, I've always been, I mean, it sounds dramatic to put it this way, but I guess like I kind of been living like a double life. You know, where I'm like really serious and stuff in real life and just like a great guy. And then on the internet, I mean, I think this is like everyone who's a troll, right? Like they come on the internet and they start trolling and, you know, like making jokes and stuff. Cause, you know, obviously like they're going through something and like they're, in their real life. So, you know, that's kind of how like the troll persona, took over. It became like a sport, honestly. Trolling online became a sport. You know, and the other thing is, like, this younger generation's a little bit different because they grew up on the internet. And I'm not that old. I'm not like a boomer or anything. I'm in my mid-20s. But, I mean, for people like myself, the internet is not real life. Like, the internet is a playground. The internet is just jokes. The internet is where you hang out, where you watch something. It's entertainment, right? So I just started creating my own entertainment on the internet by trolling. That's not a justification because it's not right for sure, but that is the explanation. And
at the time, you liked the anonymity almost, right? That's a mouthful of a word.
Let's say that word again. You can do it, Mr. J.
Anonymity. There we go.
Uh-huh.
You liked being anonymous. You think you treated your real life very seriously and were always striving to be the best. But then when you were online, you said you made a sport out of, you know, making fun of others and trying to be a troll. You found it entertaining.
Well, not necessarily making fun of others, just being silly, just being
silly. Okay.
Being sarcastic, doing things that are ironic. I don't know if you've ever read like Albert Camus, but in Sisyphus, Albert Camus writes that there's really like no meaning for life, and that the best thing that you can do is like live life ironically. You know, ascribe your own meaning into your interactions in life. Kind of like, I mean, he wrote this other really good essay, Albert Camus, called The Rebel, and in The Rebel, like he expounds more on that you're just supposed to know that life has no meaning and live anyways. You know, the answer is not to become a nihilist, but to just almost become like a person who doesn't take himself too seriously. And in a way, that's almost like a defense mechanism. And that's basically what I've done. I mean, from, you know, my point of view and just the point of view of anyone else who has troll on Twitch, you get introduced to these streamers and like they're like the most like fake professional people ever, you know, like they're putting on a character, not being real, taking advantage of the viewers, begging for donations, promoting crap like, you know, G Fuel and other forms of Chinese powder that are mass produced. And all these YouTubers and Twitch streamers, like they really advertise like the living heck out of all these different Chinese powders, where like they don't even have regulations over there in China. I mean, I can tell you that a couple years from now, like we're probably going to find out about like all these kids that got cancer from buying like all these different off-brand and on-brand Chinese powders that like the YouTubers and the Twitch streamers advertise. So I've always had like very little respect for like these fake professional people on the internet. I admire people that don't take themselves too seriously, people that actually play the game because they love the game, people that interact with the viewers, but they interact with the viewers organically, trying to not trying to get anything from them. And I've come across very few people like that on Twitch and in the zombies community. So yeah, I would
How
just
would you
kind of push
describe
their buttons.
most of the community?
I mean,
because you describe most of the community as like these kind of almost not necessarily fake, but like, you know, like you said, taking sponsorships and trying to put on a persona instead of being genuine.
yeah,
right?
drowning kids in Chinese powder. Yeah, I don't want to name any names because there's so many of them. So it depends what you define as the community, right? So when I say the community, I usually refer to people that go for high rounds or just world records in general, and people that you don't necessarily have to be a player. There's people that just watch, right? So when I say the community, I'm talking about the world record community and the viewers. When I say the community, I'm not usually referring to like, I mean, I know now that, you know, like Easter egg speed runs and like no jug and stuff like that, like it's, those challenges have become like pseudo records. But yeah, that's what I would define as a community, just the people who go for records and the people that watch and the people that visit the website, people that care. Not the YouTubers that, you know, like Spider Bite back in the past, like a new map would come out and he would make 16 videos, each video like a step on how to do the Easter egg.
The spider was the worst. It was the worst.
Jay knows exactly what I'm talking about. Meat Wagon and all those people, and like Noah J and just all those people that, I mean, they're literally like sociopathic opportunists just milking the community for money.
Yeah, you know, obviously you're mentioning that a very small amount of the community is actually genuine, like you were describing,
Mm-hmm.
and that a lot of these people are kind of fake and uploading this almost repetitive content of 16 different videos on how to build one staff and whatnot.
Exactly. Yeah.
Does it disappoint you when these types of big YouTubers, like Noah J, for example, make content where they almost advertise
don't even get me started on Noah J. Like Noah J, you know, there's people with all these conspiracy theories that they look at me like I'm the bad guy. Like, oh, you're milking the community. You're making so much money off the website and the people's records. Like in ads, the website makes like $200 and something a month. Like there's no money. Now you compare ZWR making $200 and something a month in ad revenue. You compare that to like a Noah J, who's literally reacting to Easter egg speedruns, every single Easter egg speedruns. And not just Noah J, there's also this other guy, man, the guy I told you about the other day. He was reacting to all the high rounds. His name is almost like copying Noah J. Instead of Noah, it's something else. And I mean, and there's also like Russian, who now goes by Luke, the Gamer Sherry's, I think, husband. There's that guy. There used to be Nixaru.
And then she left the community. He became a she, and she left the community.
Well, I don't know about all those gender pronouns, but the person, formerly known as Nixaru, milked the community, got all this money, used it to get like surgeries and stuff, and then left the community. Yeah. I'm trying to think of who the guy is. It's not Noah. It's the other guy. He was the guy from the that zombie podcast with the other guy. The two guys. Remember there was like this podcast and they took it down like recently. Someone in the chat has to know. Guys, come on. The only zombie podcast in the community. Some Bros. Yeah, Some Bros. So the guy that I'm talking about is one of the two guys from Some Bros.
MC Sports Talk.
No. That's from. I mean, that guy is also like
Yeah,
a
he was
huge degenerate, but
JWC, right?
yeah,
There's
yeah.
Mr. Dalek JD is a big one.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah,
hate
that's
Dalek.
one of those
I'm British
Easter
and I
egg
hate Dalek.
Easter egg milkers. But here, let me go to Sombros. Let me look up Sombros. I'll tell you right now who I'm talking about. So Sombros was Reed Austin, and then the other guy. The other guy is who I'm talking about, Johnny J25. So show the stream. I mean, go on Johnny J25's YouTube channel and just show like all the world records that he's milked. It's so crazy, right? Because like the players that got those records, they did it for free out of the love of the game. Johnny J, whatever the heck his name is, 25, made a video for like every single like most important. Look at that. Yeah, Mob of the Dead 233, Dareson 131, 1,400 Varuk, 126. It's just ridiculous. This guy made tens of thousands of dollars, or at least thousands of dollars. Let's say thousands. He made thousands of dollars per each world record that players dedicated their entire lives to achieving and got nothing out of it. This guy made money out of his records. So, so when someone says, hey, Wings, you're taking advantage of the community. You're running ads on ZWR. Zombie Records always ran ads from the beginning. I did not add ads to it. I just laugh because, like, you're talking about, like, $200 that I've always paid to Exo Berlin, Zeomix, and whoever runs the website, for the staff team and everything. I haven't made a single penny. I bought the website for $11,500, and ever since I've spent twice that much on top of the $11,500 just to pay people to run the website and everything out of love for the community. So when someone talks about like ad revenue on the website, I laugh. I mean, let's talk about the ad revenue on that guy that you just showed. He's making thousands of dollars per world record. You have Noah J, who's not even like, at least that guy, what was that guy's name?
Johnny J.
Johnny J. At least Johnny J kind of tried to understand the strategy. He asked around who the players were. He did the research, right, to exploit the community. This other guy, Noah J456, he doesn't even understand what his eyeballs are looking at when he makes these like Easter egg reacting to Easter egg speedruns, right? He has show it on the screen. It's on his second channel. So Noah J has a second channel, and that's usually where he reacts to these world records. Yeah, I mean, who's really milking the community? Who's really making thousands of dollars off each single player that actually achieves something? Like, just look at this. Like, this is jokes, Vaughn. This is literally jokes. Literally jokes. And look, I shouldn't even be talking about these things. You guys are gonna be like, oh, you're just salty. You're not these YouTubers. We love them. Like, give them a break. I have no problem with them exploiting the community for ad revenue and all these fake reacting videos and making money out of like players' world records. I don't know. It's stupid. I don't really have a problem over it. People will make content any way they can. Most YouTubers, I'm sorry to say this, but most YouTubers are people that don't want to work in real life. They want to make that, internet moolah any way they can. So they'll always find a way. The whole point is, like, those are the only people that are making money off the achievement of world record players. It's the YouTubers, not the website, not any other website in the community, not any other website that is going to come. Running these leaderboard websites is not profitable. It's not. There's no money in it. There's no money in it. And, like, all this stuff with Exo Berlin apparently was over like some sort of merch store. The only people even making money off merch are the YouTubers. So the community has like this double standard, right? They let the YouTubers do whatever they want, exploit their subscribers and followers any way they can, steal gameplay from world record players and make thousands of dollars off each video, take Easter eggs and split them into 16 steps every time a map comes out and make tens of thousands of dollars out of gullible kids that probably got the latest Call of Duty for Christmas, right? So the community has this double standard where they see all that as okay. Like, yeah, give us the Chinese powder. Get me addicted to G Fuel and all the other, similar Chinese powders to G Fuel. Like, that's all okay. But let's shit on websites that actually support world record players because they run ads. Let's criticize whoever is running the website. Let's attack people on the staff team. This is actually really important. And it's always been this way. Players,
you believe that it was this way under the previous ownership?
It's always been this way since 2012. So players that get world records in the community always attack people on the staff team and admins that run the website because they say, oh, look, the website has a bunch of noobs, no-name people. They're not world record players for the most part. They're the ones processing the submissions. This is, why there's so many errors, blah, blah, blah. So like world record players will attack staff members because, they're not big players per se. But this is the thing. When Frenzy launched Zombie Legends, when TTS launched CBC, they always tried it. They always tried getting all like the big name world record players to form the staff team. And it always failed because the big name world record players, they don't have thousands of hours like Exo Berlin to process submissions. Like they're going for like the BO1 Ascension high round world record. They're taking on like the biggest challenges as far as the leaderboards. They don't have time to process submissions. They might have time to discuss rules and stuff like that, and I think we should listen to world record players. But all of them, when they do join the staff team, usually they become very lazy. They have this ego, that they have this sense that there's a hierarchy in the zombies community where the world record player does not have to accept as many submissions as someone else. So it's all very ironic. I mean, this is a community that just tears itself apart. And it's always been like that. So staff members literally get criticized for not being famous or not having as many world records as the players. And it's always been like that on every website since 2012. Every website.
So knowing this and seeing this even before you owned the website, what made you want to acquire zombierecords.com?
Well, a lot of these things I figured out after I bought the website. If I'm being perfectly honest with you, if I could hop in a time machine, I think I would slap myself across the face the day that I decided to pay $11,500 for the website. Not just that, I would go even further back in time to 2012 when my girlfriend asked me why, how come I don't play zombies? And I would have told her like, hey, Matt, well, not Matt. Hey, Danny, I've looked deep into the future and it's just a clown world of like social degenerates online that I don't want to be a part of. And I'm not saying that about everyone. Obviously, tons of nice people love, the world record players, not the YouTubers or streamers so much, obviously. But yeah, I would have never gotten involved in zombies, and I would have definitely never bought the website if I could go back in time. It's a lot of responsibility. It's a lot of putting up with crap. Every decision you make is damn if you will, damn if you don't. Everyone always has a problem with everything. It's a community of teenagers and young, like man children, basically, that they're never satisfied. Like it's never good enough. It doesn't matter who's in charge or what website it is. They will always criticize because, I mean, talking crap is free. Actually being constructive and solving problems that you identify, no one wants to do that for the most part. So it is what it is. I mean, we have this community that has the culture that it has. And that's the other thing. I'm not a control freak. So I'm not here trying to change the culture of the zombies community. That's not even possible. You can't micromanage every single individual in a community of like tens of thousands or even more. But it is what it is. This is the culture of the zombies community.
So you're saying if you could go back, you wouldn't have wanted to be a part of this community in the first place.
I would
More
have.
Importantly, you wouldn't have wanted to own the website.
I would have taken my PlayStation 3 and I would have thrown it out the window.
I feel like a lot of people in the community might be surprised to hear that from the current ZWR owner.
Whoa. A caveat.
More.
I am the owner of the domain name URL. That's, I'm not running the website or anything like that.
So obviously, as many people know, you are the domain name owner, but you don't run the website. That was left to Zio, Exo Berlin, and Norman, right?
That's right. And
Primarily.
now Amir, he stepped up. I didn't ask Amir to join. He volunteered, and he was part of their administration back when. He understands the community better than I do. He knows the players. He has good relationships with people. He has a good vision. I don't even, like with Amir, like I've been honest with him. I've told him, hey dude, this is going to be the hardest thing you do in your life. I can help you any way I can. You're going to lose friends. You're going to make friends. People are going to throw rotten fruit at you, just like they did with Exo Berlin and Zeomix and everyone else. Just know, like full disclosure, just know, what goes into it. And he understands. And Amir, to me, he has nothing but good intentions for the website. And, I don't want there to be too many cooks in the kitchen. So I'm not in the kitchen. Amir is. Everyone else he adds to the team, and they're going to run the website. And I think they're going to do a job equally as good as the job that Exo Berlin Zeomix did, possibly better, to be honest, because there was no transparency whatsoever at all with Exo Berlin. Like Zeomix would try to like reach out and ask world record players like what they thought about ideas for new leaderboards and rules, and that was nice. But as far as like, sharing like the internal mechanisms of the decisions that happen in the team or like the reasoning for this and that, absolutely like no transparency whatsoever with Exo Berlin. That's always been his style. That's still his style. I mean, the guy literally took down the website and tried stealing it, and he doesn't even want to show his face or answer any kinds of questions. So, what you can expect if they do make a website and whatever happens, probably no transparency at all. At least Amir is trying, and, he's willing to just, same thing I'm doing, just have everything out there.
What made you, or how did you meet Exo Berlin? And back when you acquired the website, what made you want to choose him to be the main admin and to take over the reins and run everything?
So I first heard of Exo Berlin by people making memes, making fun of him, because he was quote unquote the player with the most records in the world. But then when you click on his like ZWR player profile, immediately you see like the most records in the world that he has are like a bunch of like co-op Easter eggs, like no jug, no this, no that, speed run records, like records on leaderboards that are like not competitive at all. That's the first time I heard Exo Berlin, like the name Exo Berlin was from those memes that people would make. That's also why he's like so reactionary, because the guy has literally been getting made fun of by a lot of people in the community, and that also goes back to speak on how toxic like the subculture of the community is. That was the first time I heard of him, because he had the most records, quote unquote, the most records in the world. Then he joined the staff team. I think Zeomix added him. He joined the staff team. And dude, this guy has like the best discipline in the world. just like he got all the the most quote unquote world records in the world, he started processing the most submissions. Like he would compete against the entire team. Like he would accept more submissions than everyone else in the team put together. That was Axel Berlin. I mean, just godly dedication. And then he started suggesting all these ideas, all these improvements. The guy has like a military background. I think that's the only job he's ever had when he was in the military in Germany. So he's pretty good at discipline and like organizing a team from the inside, I would say. So he just started climbing up the ranks, you know, ended up being admin. Then one day got frustrated because he had like some sort of issue with someone else in the team, I believe. Threatened to quit. Zeomix liked him because he was doing a lot of work. Like, because initially Zeomix was doing everything on his own. When Axel Berlin became admin, he started doing everything. So Zeomix was like, no, we got to keep this guy. So I literally offered him to become the leader of the website. And he said no the first time, which is very admirable, actually. And here, let's show a screenshot of that. Because he posted this thing saying like, oh, look at all the nice things Wings ever said to me. And I've only said like nice things to Axel Berlin. Like, before all this drama, I was like the most encouraging like father to Axel Berlin. Here, let me go into the discussion chat. Let's open up the screenshot folder saying nice things to Axel Berlin. Can you open that on stream, zoom in, and read from the bottom, the whispers on Twitch.
From the bottom?
From the bottom.
So there's
that's the top.
An image link.
Yep, the bottom.
Yeah. And then from Zombies World Records, the Twitch page, the Twitch page DM'd Axel Berlin saying, I consider you the most important member of the staff team. Let's talk on Discord and resolve this issue. If there's an update you are against, I will listen to you. Yeah,
because he wanted to quit. That's what was going on back then. I think Zeomix had deleted some like leaderboards that were non-competitive, so Axel Berlin had lost a lot of records while he was admin, threatened to leave, and then in order to keep him, like, you know, basically like the position of leader was offered to him, and you know, it definitely complicated dynamic with Zeomix because he wanted it, but you know, I don't know what to say. Like, that was the situation. He threatened to leave, and the position was offered to him. He said no at first, and then he reconsidered and became the leader. You can zoom in at the.
So you thought that he was really hardworking and that he was dedicated.
Oh, for sure. No, listen.
And that he was going to do really good things for the site.
Well, yeah, like he was doing like the most work out of like anyone. Like the guy, like, you know, he's very disciplined, and he like literally competes to do the most work, which I don't think I've ever seen anyone ever in my life compete to do the most work. It's either he's crazy or it's like something like extraordinary about him, I would say. Yeah. And you can read the ones at the top. So this was like, yeah, when he was leader, you know, like I would compliment him. Like, he's someone who's really, some people like need lots of compliments because like they do hard work just to get compliments. So I would give them to him. You can read them.
So you said to Berlin, I'm so glad you are the leader. You are the chosen one, the only person in the whole community that can save it. Why is that? Why is no one else like you? Thousands of players in the community, but only one person with a clear vision, good intentions, and the necessary skills. Everyone else is a nihilist, a troll, a misbehaved child, an opportunist, or an idiot. For the first time, the community is in the right hands. Many months ago, when I told you I wanted you to take over, why did you say no?
Right, and for some reason he doesn't show why he said no. I don't even remember why he said no. And then the next one.
That is very good. Thank you, EXO. The community is lucky to have you. Then after that, I'm very impressed by all the great work you've been doing. You have lots of leadership and organizational qualities.
Right, and I'm pretty sure, yeah, it's hard to remember back then, but I'm pretty sure I meant all those things I said, and I think they're still like pretty accurate. I would say.
Do you still believe that EXO is a hardworking member and that he's fit for the role of admin?
First part, yes, he is a very hardworking member. After trashing the website and holding the Discord and the Twitter accounts with 4,000 people hostage in order to promote some copycat website he's going to release soon, and all this unnecessary drama that could have just been avoided by communicating and getting along. Definitely a hardworking guy. Not super sure about fit to be leader. Because leaders are self-sacrificing. Like a leader, will jump on the sword, before guiding his military troops on some sort of campaign expedition into just an endless pit, just where there's no victory on sight. I mean, there's been plenty of historical military leaders in the past that they died just so the troops wouldn't die. And Axo, man, I think he's a good guy, but just why couldn't he communicate better? Why couldn't we avoid all this? I would have done anything he wanted, and there was no need to take down the website. The only reason we even have a website, he didn't know this, when he took down the website, he was willing to take down the website for good. I had paid Zeomix, who was a double spy, to give me a backup before, not after, before. Many months ago, back in October, I believe, because I suspected some nonsense like this was coming, just because people were saying that Exo Berlin, Zeomix, and Norman were plotting to take over the website and put in a different domain, or create a copycat website or whatever. So I needed to have a backup just in case. I mean, as the guardian of the website, that's what even brought me back to the community. I was out of the community for over a year. When the website got taken back, I found new developers, gave them the backup from October, and the website is back on. But yeah, when Exo took it down, he thought it was going to be down for good. So, I mean, again, if he's so good and he cares so much, why would he do that to the community just to kind of get back at me? You know, I always say it's kind of like two friends that are having an argument, and then the friend that gets offended, he turns around and he kicks the dog across the room instead of punching his friend in the face. That's what Axel Berlin did. He got big mad and he burned down the house with everyone in it.
So you're saying Berlin got mad, took down the website and everyone with it, instead of just dealing with you directly?
Well, not even dealing, just talking to me.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll show you the kind of talking he did with me. So here we go. I'll post it here. So this was the day he took down the website. I mean, could you show it and read it?
Yeah. So the first one says he gives you two options, which is either you get paid out for the domain, or everyone on the staff leaves and leaves you with what they say is a dead page.
Mm-hmm.
And you say immediately that you're willing to be bought out, but for the right price.
Oh, that looks bad. Let me explain that. So, full disclosure, I am not a motivated seller, because usually when someone's a motivated seller, they really need the money. 12,000, more than that, 20, 30, whatever. It wouldn't change my life in any meaningful way. So it's not my idea to sell the domain. I bought it for 11,500. I've spent twice as much on top of that paying people. So altogether, I'm in the hole for like, I don't know, maybe like 33, 36. So assuming that there was like a number that would be fair, and the person who's buying it, is definitely someone who would do a good job, right? Because I don't want to sell it to someone who just like kills the website and the community, who just, but being terrible. The right person offering an amount that is fair, yes, it's a possibility that we could reach an agreement and the website, not the website, the domain name could be, could be transferred to them. Again, that's not my idea. That's their idea. They were trying to buy the domain from me. I mean, they even offered me $40,000 because like, and one thing I've learned is like these people are like terrible negotiators. Like Axel Berlin started offering 5,500. I was like, dude, that's disrespectful. Like I've nearly spent 12,000 buying the website. Then he said 10, no, then 12. I said, hey man, you're offering 12,000. That would mean the website did not grow at all since I bought it till now. The website's grown like 4 or 5 times since then. He's like, yeah, but that's because of all the hard work we've put in. I'm like, no, dude, it's grown, right? So I'm not going to sell it to you for the same price I bought it after I spend over 20-something thousand paying you guys to run it. So, then he gave me this ultimatum. He's like, dude, we'll buy it from you or we're going to shut it down. Can you read like what I replied to him, to his threats of shutting down the website?
The second image?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So you said your threat of solution two being shut down the website, or what did he say solution 2
Yeah,
was?
shut down the website.
Yeah. Your threat of shutting down the website has no leverage because it was going to happen eventually when the new website was finished. It makes no difference if you guys betray me now or 6 months from now. ZWC, Zombies World Championships, is dead and was never a serious competitor.
That was supposed that was a typo. That was supposed to be ZBC, zombiecommunity.com. No, that's a typo, but yeah, keep going.
So
CBC.
Instead of ZVC, Zombie Community. Okay.
Yes, because he threatened that if they ran away, like CBC would take over the community, which is just like a ridiculous thing to say. And then,
Gashi is going to be a father, so Zombicus will probably not get leaderboards, and Gashi is afraid of the legal consequences anyways. So you have 2 solutions.
So let me explain that. So
okay.
Gashi used to be like a developer on ZWR. I used to pay him. He was the one who like redesigned the user interface, like all those like gold colors or like the dark background. Like the guy is just such a freaking good artist and such a good like designer when it comes to like stuff like with like the UI of a website, right? Just great. But he did betray us, just like Axel Berlin did. Gashi was working ZWR, stuff happens. I take full responsibility. We didn't get along and stuff like that. He quit. He joined up with TTS. He joined up with Mr. Billion, who's actually the guy with the Japanese name that hosted you on the website on the front page. He also betrayed us. So like the 3 of them betrayed us, and they started their own website, CBC, which I like mistyped as ZWC. It's CBC. So, I was like, dude, like their website is dead. I don't think Gashi's even interested in adding leaderboards. He's moving on with life. He's going to have all these responsibilities. So, this threat that either Zombie Kids or CBC, they're going to like, it's just nonsense, right? So again, the guy was making threats with like no leverage, just trying to manipulate, just bad arguments. You can read the 2 solutions I offered him.
So number 1 is pay me for ZWR, which is worth more than what you paid for Zombie Records when you acquired it.
That's right.
That's because of the site's growth and whatnot.
Exactly.
Or they treat you fairly and don't try to upload a new website to a new domain when it's finished.
Right. Yeah, because again, like Norman, it was Norman's idea. No one asked him. Like he hated like the website that the original developer made, the current one we have. And he wanted to create a website. Like he wanted to turn into like some sort of social media, like just like really elaborate, like complicated, unnecessary work. So he wanted to like keep the same domain, but make a new website, which was not my idea. I just wanted him to keep developing and adding new features to the existing website. So this is why I think it's all Norman. I really do think it's all Norman. I think Norman exploited that me and Exo Berlin were not getting along well, and he's always just wanted to make a website. So yeah, I think they cloned the website temporarily, and soon, or maybe never, maybe months from now, like they plan to release another website. So all this website mumbo jumbo, I really do think it's more because of Norman and less to do with Exo Berlin, because I don't think Exo Berlin ever cared about like what website or what the website looks like. He just cared about, you know, running the team, putting in a lot of work, and just things marching in the right direction. So yeah, I mean that's pretty much.
For you, obviously, ZWR for you was never about like making money. It was never about your personal gain. And in fact, you said that you're consistently taking a loss. Right?
Oh yeah.
And that you've invested over $30,000 into the website.
And I think the only reason why it's even been me is because I might be like one of the few people in the community that can just afford to like burn money. It's a passion project. I'm not trying to turn it into some sort of like business. You know, I'm not. To me, that's ridiculous. It's just a website that people go on and see whatever the record is. So yeah, it's a passion project. Waste of money.
But then you know, so obviously you never cared about making money, and you're losing money.
That's right.
But also, if suddenly they're going to offer to buy you out, you don't want all of your money to be lost for nothing. So you want to get compensation for that. And that's why you're saying like, oh, 5,000, 10,000, that's not enough because I've invested way more into that.
Right. So in the event, so let me explain that. In the event that we can't come to a peaceful and free solution, you know, if they're not willing to solve this in a peaceful and free way, like they only see one option, which is to buy me out, which kind of seems that way. Yeah, I guess if it was fair, if it was a fair offer, yeah, I might sell the domain URL link. Yeah.
So let's quickly talk about the events that happened last week and just kind of, you know, you said that for some time now, upwards of a year, you had suspected that they were plotting to kind of start their own site or split the community.
No, I haven't been in the community for over a year. As soon as like, you know, I made Exo Berlin like the default leader. The stuff that I've been hearing about them plotting to take the website and all that, that's been like the past, like, I think like 6-7 months. Yeah.
So you haven't been like an active part of the community, but you kind of had a suspicion that something was going on.
Oh yeah. Big one. I mean,
and that's why you were taking backups of the website.
Yeah, I started playing CO Mix to give me backups just in case.
So even though Exo Berlin had pretty much all the control he wanted, you weren't controlling anything about the website other than just, you know, being the guy that.
So I would suggest. So I've always been big picture. Like I've never been micromanaging. I've always been into like updates and stuff like that. So features. I've suggested features. Like I've always worked with developers, so I've suggested features. You know, when it comes to decisions like leaderboards and rules, I've been like very much into like self-government, like letting the community just decide for itself with people on the staff team. So no, yeah, I haven't been making any decisions when it comes to those things.
You've been completely on the sideline in the sense that you owned it, but you didn't make any decisions related to running the site.
I don't even know what the
For the
new
most-
rules are for like a lot of the new leaderboards. I don't know.
So, given that,
Oh,
like,
and just one more thing. Exo Berlin didn't just have all the power in terms of like the team and the rules and leaderboards and all that stuff with, you know, CO Mix and his friends. Not only that, they were getting more than 100% of the money the website makes every month. So I was giving them all the money it makes plus some. Let's show that, because I guess that's what people really care about is just money. And even people think that's what this nonsense about. Can you show
yeah,
in my messages to you, I think you have like all the PayPal screenshots from mobile. You can show people that.
so we have these screenshots. And this is as recent as last week.
Yeah.
You sending money to Exo Berlin
Mm-hmm.
for some of the ad revenue.
Pretty
And
much
for other-
all the ad revenue. Yeah.
And there are a few pages.
So
of
there,
this.
that's CWR Christmas. So Axel Berlin is like that manager at McDonald's that no, keep it there. Let me discuss that the Christmas thing. So Axel Berlin is like that manager at McDonald's that he just starts assigning himself like stuff no one's asked for. So he suggested we do some sort of ZWR Halloween and Christmas event, like a mini weekend competition, something like that. When I heard that, I was like, oh boy, like the community's gonna make so many jokes and so many memes. But I said yes, because I knew if I said no to him, like he's so thin-skinned and just emotional, he would have gone crazy had I said no, you know, no Halloween and no Christmas community competition event. So he asked for it. I said, how much? I don't even know how much 500 euros are in dollars, but it's a lot more. It's like 600, 700, something like that. I gave him all the money he asked for, like just like a blank check, so he could run his little event and like not to get angry at me. So that's what ZWR Christmas was. You can look at the other payments, the ones below it.
On the next page. For ZWR staff, for CWR Halloween event,
Yeah. So
for
I was
ZWR team.
So every time it's for ZWR or for ZWR staff, that's money that I was giving him, and that money was supposed to go to like rewarding like hardworking staff on the team. I can't say he hasn't. I'd be lying because I don't know. But what I've heard is that only like 2 people ever got paid, and I think they were admins. Or there might have been like staff of the month like once. I have no clue. But from what people have said that are on the team, it does seem like yeah, I don't even want to make any claims, but just, I mean, there's staff and admins that have messaged me and been like, hey, I had no idea. Like I never received anything. If he was here, I would like to ask him that at point blank. I'd be like, Axel Berlin, like, what were you doing with the money? Like, who were you paying? Like, were you paying staff? That 20 euro is because he said like 100 wasn't enough. So I was like, oh, here's 20 more. You know, it's just, yeah, it's really embarrassing.
A
Like,
lot of this was meant for the staff, but most of the staff complain about having never received payments.
So I
saying,
think we would have to ask him, but the ones that have messaged me that are his admins, they've said that they've seen no money. Yeah. So it would be really good to actually know.
from what I've heard from a couple staff members is that Berlin would give staff members money for like staff member of the month.
I have no idea, but maybe. This is the whole point. There's the majority of staff and admins did not get paid, right? So he might have paid a few, but the majority received nothing. And I was giving him like all the money for the website. I don't even know why he would want like, I don't know, like 120 euros. Like, what do you even do with 120 euros? If I was him and I got all the like money for the ad revenue, I would have immediately just split that into like 3 or 4 and given like some small gifts to the staff. He was not doing that. I mean, maybe he was paying like one person every couple of months, like a little gift. That's my understanding. But whatever he did with the money, he was given like all the money that the website produced. Well, he and Zeomix together were getting all the money the website produced. So I guess you could say they were getting like half and half. I think Zeomix kept all the money for himself that he received.
Your intention was for it to be split amongst the staff members, but then you didn't have much knowledge of where it actually went.
Right. So whatever the message is, that's what my understanding was that the money was going toward. That's why they're labeled like that. Because you can write a little message when you donate to someone on PayPal. Let's see the next one.
The third one? Yep.
Yep.
There's one from August 2020 that says, for ZWR staff gifts.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So if there were any people that did get paid, guys, I guess you're welcome. Like, the money wasn't really coming from Axel Berlin. It was, you know, it was to compensate the hardworking people on the team. Which, I mean, that's not really like a plus for me. I mean, literally anyone with common sense would do the decent thing and, you know, and give gifts to staff. But all this is like just really embarrassing, just humiliating. Like, I feel like I got finessed like from the beginning. And, you know, a lesson that I've learned from all this is you cannot solve problems with money. And no amount of money that you give a person, if they don't like you and they're plotting stuff, that money's going to accomplish absolutely nothing. So, I mean, I guess that's a life lesson. Could you go to the next picture?
Yeah. So the next one is the payments that went to Thomas.
Yes. Thomas is Zeomix.
This is okay. So this is Zeomix.
Mm-hmm. So he was getting whatever money was left after I paid Axel Berlin, plus more from my pocket was going to Zeo like pretty much every month. So that's a really important message right there. The one in November that says we do have a deal. That's when we discussed that, you know, like backups were to be sent to me in the event that anything stupid happened with the website. So that was sent in November and the backup is from October. So I think that's literally the receipt of the backup that was used to restore the website after Axel Berlin, like, you know, deleted the website.
And you wanted these backups because you were worried that the website would get taken down, right?
Yes. So pretty much the prophecy came true. Yeah.
Did Berlin have the power to take the website down?
No. It's all through Norman. Norman was the developer, and Norman was like Axel Berlin's like, I don't want to say anything homophobic. Very close. Norman and Axel Berlin, very close. And so yeah, so who actually took down the website was Norman. I assume Axel Berlin told him to take it down. Norman could have just taken it down on his own. I have no freaking clue. It would be a good idea to ask Axel Berlin, like, if he gave the order to take down the website or if it was Norman. I really, like, after piecing all the puzzles together, I really do feel like Norman was like the snake, just like hissing in like Axel Berlin's ear, because he was the one motivated by a website and blah 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 blah. So he might have just been an opportunist, and I don't know. I have no idea. Like, just like the community, I have some theories, but literally who had to press the button to take down the website, that was Norman, because he was the developer. Axel Berlin is not a developer.
He had the website hosted on his servers?
On his own
or
private
like...
server. On Norman, and this is another thing, like Norman like finessed me. I gave him like all the social media after after there was like this this incident between me and Furret Can Walk. Some words that shouldn't have been said were said in a DM. This was like back at the beginning, when I was actually like, running the site the first couple months. So after that incident, Norman was like, dude, I'm not going to develop for the website anymore unless you give me the Twitter account. So you can't ever DM anyone again. Give me the Discord, and I'm going to take all the code from like the GoDaddy domain, and I'm going to host it for my own private server, because I don't like the tools GoDaddy has, and I think that my own private server, I'll be able to, I don't know, like do dev work in a more like straightforward way. So he gave me no choice but to give him all the social media and just complete control over the code as a developer.
So when did this exchange take place? So you lost access to the Twitter, the Discord, all the other social media. When did you give it to him?
So it was when Furret Can Walk and me got into an argument because Zeomix was making montages for his world records, and they were being uploaded to the YouTube channel for the site. I would go back and check my messages, but Norman, who's changed his name to Agent 47, he's deleted every single message he ever sent me in his life, thousands of them, after he threatened to hire a hitman. And it's really childish that he even did that, because like pretty much every single conversation that I ever had with these people, either over the mic or when I was on my desktop computer, like typing on Discord, I always recorded them with OBS. Like that's how much I didn't trust these people. I mean, I can show you right now. I'll send you a message. I'll post it here. Like Norman deleted all the messages with me, so I don't even know how to find it. Let's see, Agent 47. I guess I'll take screenshots and like scroll up and oh, I did reply to some of his things, so it says like message deleted, so you can see that. Here, let me find that. I'm taking the screenshot on my phone so people can be like, oh, that's edited. Let's see.
Yep.
Here we go. Here's where we are. I wish I would have always just replied to every message, like literally clicked reply, because then you would be able to see all the messages that got deleted, but I only did that for a couple ones. All right, so Goddess's thing. Let's go into ZWR discussing chat. So this is just proof that Norman, like after he said that it was going to be cheaper to hire a hitman on dark web to kill me in real life, he just deleted all his messages.
I see.
Yeah.
And you, so in this second screenshot here, this is you setting up a Coinbase account.
Yeah, he made me create a Bitcoin wallet. I've never had anything to do with crypto, so I was literally asking him for steps on how to do it. And yeah, last minute, and he had all the money he was gonna wire me and all that. He said he talked to his advisors and they said that it wouldn't be a good idea. I guess Axel Berlin, Zeomix talking him out of it. But I mean, I literally did everything the guy asked me to. So if they really wanted to buy the domain, I would have sold it to them. I mean, I was like literally doing everything they were asking. And yeah, right there you can see like message could not be loaded and all that. The guy, he must have used like a bot or something. He deleted every single message that he ever sent me. Every single message after he made like the death threat. Yeah, even there, like if you read that, you know, I'm telling him how he like took advantage of me, everything, when he made me give him like the Twitter and the Discord, and he moved the website to his own private server and everything. Yeah, right there where it says you made me. It starts there where it says you let me, you made me or whatever.
Well, where did I see it? Oh, you made me let you transfer the website to a private server only you have access to. You made me give you all the social media for ZWR, Twitter, and Discord.
Yeah. Oh, this is another thing. They were pretty much disabling the ads. They were doing something where like every 6 weeks the ads would, like the AdSense account would get suspended and the ads wouldn't be monetized and they would disappear. They were attacking the AdSense. They were getting the AdSense disabled like every 6 weeks for a couple of weeks. So even though I was giving them all the money, they were literally like, you know, destroying like the AdSense. Like here, I can send you a email from Google AdSense, just like the one I would get every 6 weeks saying like, hey, by the way, your AdSense has been disabled. And that, you know, I suspect it was them, because as soon as I started giving them more money than the website was making, the attack stopped, right? So how the heck do I find these? Let me search AdSense, I guess, in my email. What's this? Here we go. I don't want to show like any like private info, so I'm gonna scroll down a little bit. But I was getting these emails pretty much every 6 weeks. Like these people were just like, not only were they planning stuff, they were just like straight up just messing with me, even though I was giving them all the money, which doesn't really make sense. So like I was getting these emails every 6 weeks, pretty much on average.
So these emails, what did you have suspicions that it had to do with how they were running the site?
I mean,
That
Norman was the developer, so I mean, who else?
You thought that Norman was behind these emails with the AdSense in some form?
Yeah, because then they magically stopped. Once WingsOfOblivion started getting paid more, they magically stopped. And it's just stupid stuff, you know? Here, I'll send you, yeah, here you can see like the frequency that it was like happening. I'll send you this other one. So look at this one I sent you.
Every 2 months or so.
Yeah. Yeah, it was something like every 6 weeks, every 8 weeks. There was some sort of pattern to it.
But then you said it suddenly stopped as soon as
Axo, yeah, as soon as Axo needed money for like the Halloween and Christmas event, and he was doing all these things, magically, like the attack stopped on the AdSense. Yeah.
So obviously, it seems like EXO and all of them are almost not willing to kind of sit down and discuss. Like we've said,
I think they hate me with every fiber of their being. Yeah.
But you said you had some solutions that you think would be good for them. Did you want to discuss what those solutions are?
Yeah, for sure. So it's so many solutions. I mean, I think WingsOfOblivion can. This is like a hostile takeover of the website and the community, you know, by like the conspirators, WingsOfOblivion and his friends. there are ways where they can get everything they want. If what they want is the domain name, that can be transferred. You know, either Norman, who's apparently rich in crypto, you know, he can make me an offer, a serious offer that is fair. I would sell it to him. I think the current staff team, like the new one, and the staff team that Axel Berlin stole, you know, in that event where we find a solution, those two staff teams can be blended together, you know, like we can all work together. Like I would like to see unity in the community. Even like CBC and like Zombicus and stuff, they might even unite with ZWR. There's behind the scenes stuff going on where like we are planning to help each other. Zombicus grew a lot when it was linked on the homepage for ZWR. I think, you know, I think it would make sense to do that again. And Zombie Community, the website that TTS made to compete with ZWR that failed, I think TTS had his heart in the right place. Like he literally called it zombiecommunity.com. He wanted to do something where the community could discuss things like new leaderboards and rules and stuff. He just got kind of confused and made it about leaderboards for some reason to compete with ZWR. I can imagine definitely, you know, ZWR reaching out to them or them reaching out to ZWR, where ZWR could promote both sides and we could just have unity in the community. It's kind of catchy, unity in the community. So yeah.
So your goal is not to have the community divided. You want the community to come together.
Of course, because this is all a waste of time. ZWR will win at the end. Norman will spend thousands of hours developing like a really kick-ass website, you know, assuming he's not still running with the clone website that he put. He's just going to waste his time. I mean, even if he releases the best website in the world, no one's going to care. Like, it's because of Google SEO. Google SEO, the way Norman himself explained to me, is organic now. You can't program SEO into websites like you used to a couple years ago, where you could actually like just set things up in a way where the website ranks #1 on Google searches no matter what. You can't do that anymore. Now it's organic. So now Google uses its own algorithm to I guess it compares like where the clicks are coming from, what countries, what are they clicking on, the frequency, how much time they're spending on the website, all these like analytics, and organically the algorithm determines the ranking placement of whatever website when you search something. Open Google and just try searching anything and you'll see ZWR is always first. Search like zombie records, zombie leaderboards, Ascension world record, whatever you want to type. Let's see what happens. Yeah, #1. Type in just 2 words like zombie records with a space in between. Or Ascension world record, yeah, literally anything.
When I type in Ascension, the second thing that comes up beyond
Yeah.
wow,
So,
a Yodi Slayer video is the Ascension leaderboard.
Yeah, and the only reason those videos even come up first is because the YouTube search engine is part of the Google search engine, and Google will always promote their stuff first before promoting other people's stuff. So that's the only reason the videos even come first. The first website is ZWR. So it doesn't matter how good of a website anyone can make. I mean, the reason why Norman would even be willing to pay $40,000 for a domain, which I think that's crazy, is just because there's no other way around it. They know that there's no other way around it. They're like extremely desperate. It's unbeatable. It is what it is. I can't take credit for it. I mean, the guy who made the website, he definitely knew what he was doing. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty much the situation. Oh, now that we're on Google, open up 2 tabs. Open up 2 Google tabs, and I'm going to show you something. Just so you can see like the mental degradation that these people are having. Oh, actually, open up 3 tabs. in your web browser, like 3 Google tabs on your web browser. I'm going to show you something. Okay. So in the first tab, you're going to search like the actual URL. You're going to search zombieworldrecords.com in the first Google tab. Yep. Your stream must have like a huge delay.
Yeah. Would it help shared my screen on Discord?
Okay, right there. Stop there. Now go to the next tab. Go to the next Google tab.
Yep. Do you want me to share my screen on Discord so you can watch it in real time?
Yeah, that might make things easier.
Okay. Can you see it?
I gotta click here. Then I think I gotta click your thing. Messages. Okay, so on the next one, type in zombie singular community singular .com. All right. Now compare the ZWR, the first thing that you searched. All right. So right there, right? So zombieworldrecords.com, the real website, the title is Zombie World Records and has a description, right? Now, the other thing you search, zombie community, it's the same title, the same description, and if you do it on mobile, it's the same, it's the ZWR logo, which means they cloned the website. Like the website is already cloned, and free shout out. Anyone who wants to use their website, zombiecommunity.com. Here, I'll post a screenshot of what it looks like on mobile, just to kind of show you. So many screenshots, Jesus Christ. Oh, here we go. Okay. So, all right. So I added the 2 screenshots to the Discord, and anyone on mobile can do it if they don't believe me. If they think it's like doctored or Photoshop, they can do it on their phone as they're watching. Show those show those 2 mobile screenshots. So the zombiecommunity.com website, you see how it has the original ZWR logo, the little square with the gold letters?
Yep.
So same title, same description, same logo. They cloned the files. So it's they cloned the website. They cloned a website that they don't own. Like, these people they've completely lost their minds. The website is cloned. The only reason it's not online currently is because the minute it goes online, they're committing a crime and the lawsuit will start. They cloned the website. So these idiots that have been saying they've been working on a brand new website for over a year, that website is nowhere near to be finished. Nowhere near. What they have is a clone of ZWR with literally the same .png vectorized logo. If you look at it on mobile, I really think like they're way in over their heads. Like, they do know who I am, but they also don't know who I am. Like, they will be crushed, figuratively, not literally. Like, legally, they're going to get smashed. Like, they've lost their minds. Oh, and now this is the funny part, right? So the third Google tab, Zombie Community, as in CBC, just ZOMB Community. Yep. .com. So not only did they clone the website, they literally copied the URL for CBC, for the website that TTS made with Gash and Mr. Bullion. So, like, guys, you literally cannot make this stuff up. These people, these people are going to war with everyone in the community. They're cloning ZWR. They're turning ZWR into some sort of cyborg. They're copying the URL to ZBC. Just demented. Just, what are they doing? What are they doing?
Think that they will go through with launching a clone of the current ZWR with the name Zombie Community, spelled ZOMBIE?
Yeah. Yeah, it does seem that way. Let me show you another screenshot. Could you just go to like all the screenshots I sent you that first time we talked, because they're hard for me to find again.
Yeah.
Look at the one where he says he's trying to meet up with a lawyer and getting liability insurance so they can have a temporary fix. The temporary fix is cloning the website, by the way. Just bring it up so people know. I mean, these words are coming from him. Like these are his plans. Oh, show the golem. Just scroll down a little bit though, because I'm sure people are wondering about that meme. So
This?
let me see.
These memes.
Yeah. Like, basically, I mean, to summarize everything that's happened, I think kind of like what's going, and yes, that is his real face. The guy did not get like doxxed or anything. Like, if you go on Twitch TV / Exo Berlin, just look it up. He has his Instagram linked. Let's just show that so people know like nothing like illegal or whatever has happened. The guy like literally lost his mind and became Gollum from Lord of the Rings. Like, ZWR is like the one ring and he just has to possess it. Like, it's, you know, he started out as a hobbit and it's just rotted his brain. Like, he's under the curse of Sauron. It's too much, guys. Like, I really wish, like, I'm having so much fun. I haven't had this much fun since I bought the website. Like, this is a story that pretty much writes itself. I wish it was all made up, but it's literally happening, and it's happening over nothing, over some merch store BS. Instagram, click on Instagram. Look, the guy was born in 1985. Like, click on Instagram just so people see where the pictures came from. So there's no confusion that like, no, like he hasn't been hacked or anything. Like the guy, and like, let's just look through these pictures. You know, when I look at these pictures, I see a healthy guy, you know, who's trying to do like a body transformation. He's trying to get in shape. I think the eyes are not the eyes of I don't even want to say anything, but let's just go through these pictures. You can tell there's something terribly wrong when you look into his eyes, but otherwise he looks healthy, he looks fit, he looks like he loves his friends and his family. He has a very unique smile. He's a businessman. I think he's like some sort of like he reinvests other people's money in real life, has a very nice haircut. He likes the outdoors. He likes going in a jacuzzi. The guy likes partying with like friends. He's like that one guy that takes selfies at the gym. He used to be in the military. You know, Axel Berlin, it seems like he's living his best life, right? It seems like he's living his best life. So so it just makes me really confused why this guy is acting the way he's acting on the internet. Because he doesn't look like a loser. You look at his pictures and everything, it looks like, you know, a guy who's living his best life, but who knows, you know, everything you see on social media is kind of fake anyways. So yeah, he literally lost his mind, got obsessed with the power of the One Ring, became Gollum from The Lord of the Rings, and He staged some sort of failed coup, hostile takeover of a website, of some silly website for a video game community of competitive players, and that's where we are. I did not take down the website. He took down the website. There was one thing I did though, which I really do have to say, because I don't want to lie about anything or misrepresent anything. The night after like the really bad argument that we had, I kind of flexed a little bit on Exo Berlin for 5 minutes. For a couple minutes, let's just say for a couple minutes, I redirected the traffic of the website to twitch.tv. Just, showing the guy like, hey dude, like you're going crazy. And if I have to take the website away from like your leadership, it will happen. So I redirect the traffic for a couple minutes the night of like all the arguments. But then the next day, it's like he just escalated the situation. Instead of talking to me and just having a calm discussion, the website got shut down and he didn't even know I had a backup. So I think if I wouldn't have cooperated with like his threats, right now there would literally be no ZWR. So yeah, I did do something. I did redirect the traffic away for a couple minutes. That is true. Which, again, like, sometimes when you're dealing with unreasonable people, you kind of got to flex on them a little bit. So I flexed and, and he, he flinched, and he flinched really hard. And not only did he flinch, but he just, he chose to burn down the house with everyone in it. Yeah, all this because of a merch store. If you look at the messages that the screenshots I sent you, so he wanted to add a merch store since forever. Like his initial plans were, let's create a subscription program for the website where people have to pay and they get like emotes, like an ad-free experience, stuff like that. So he always wanted to turn the website into a business. So a subscription program. His other idea was he wanted a merch store. His other idea was he wanted to do the same thing the YouTubers do and create sponsorship deals with companies and stuff. Now, me and him had been talking about the merch store since December 20th. This is a screenshot showing, well, the one I'm seeing on stream. The screenshot I'm seeing on stream. Yeah, so like all of this was over some merch store. Apparently he had his own merch store, which he didn't want to, I guess he didn't want to share it. He had his own merch store he was going to release for Easter, and he was planning some sort of like marketing campaign for it. He didn't tell that to me. He didn't tell that to Zio or Norman, because they were the ones that added the merch store to the website with the button and everything. So just the guy failed to communicate. And when the merch store got added to the website, the guy like literally had like a brain aneurysm and just spiraled out of control all over some silly merch store. And the whole point of the merch store was for ZWR to generate enough ad revenue to start paying people on the staff team and admins, so people wouldn't be like slaving away for free. Yeah, it's all so crazy. Yeah, let's look through these screenshots. Can you screen share on Discord so I can see it in real time?
Yeah. Which screenshots do you want me to pull up? We saw this stuff already.
So the one with the merch stores, yeah.
This is where the merch store stuff starts happening.
Yeah. I mean, you can literally show anything. Like, dude, like the story tells itself. Like, we can, whatever you want to show.
So clearly a shop button got added to the site, and Berlin wasn't happy about that.
Not at all.
Can you elaborate on?
Well, I mean, I literally replied to him in the message. Just read my reply.
I don't understand what the problem is. Yesterday, Norman connected the shop to the website. I talked to you about the merch store many weeks ago. You wanted to add a shop to ZWR eventually, and Norman told me to ask CEO to create a button for the shop.
Yep.
So basically, you guys had discussed creating a merch store. And then when it was finally added, Berlin was upset. Do you know why he was upset?
Well, he says, I mean, he says it, right? He says, he like starts attacking the merch store. He's like, you know,
So
it's unfinished. It's unfinished. It's not tested. Not enough stuff. He wanted to do a marketing strategy, which, come on, dude, a fucking marketing strategy for a video game website. Like, this guy thinks he's running like Coca-Cola or something, or Microsoft, just completely obsessed with just every little aspect of everything. And here, let's compare merch stores, because I want to show you something, right? He says the merch store was unfinished and all that. So let's compare merch stores. Go back to Google and look up zwc.gg. So I can just show you an example.
And you want me to click on, where is it? Shop.
Yeah. Let's go into the zwc.gg shop. Let's do that.
Merch store.
Yeah, let's go browsing through their merchandise.
Let me switch my Discord screen.
Like, let's look at their selection.
They got face masks, hoodie,
Yeah,
tank
they have
tops,
5 things, like pretty much
t-shirts.
5 things: a hoodie, a tank top, a shirt, a baby mask, and an adult mask. Now, I linked
Bunch
the
of
ZWR merch store.
And a
I linked,
mug.
yeah, in a mug. I linked the merch shop for ZWR. I linked it in the Discord. Open it and let's compare them side by side. So let's see if Axel Berlin, like, you know, if he's right that it was unfinished. Let's figure out what unfinished means. Let's look at the ZWR merch store now.
So you have a mask, a gator, mug, a t-shirt, a tank top, and a hoodie. So
I mean, we could say it's just logos on shirts and merchandise, right? Literally the same thing as ZWC, right? Even lower prices. Like, if you compare prices, it's even lower prices, right? Like, it's literally just a logo on, you know, on a piece of cloth that slaves in China or wherever, you know, made in a factory. Same stuff, you know. So this is the thing. Going back to the hypocrisy in the zombies community, right? When people let like these YouTubers make all this money just like taking over people's stuff and making videos reacting to an Easter egg and everything, right? So when the YouTubers do it, when YouTubers make thousands of dollars per video, like Noah J reacting to an Easter egg speedrun, totally cool, right? When they make their own merch store, they sell at exaggerated prices, totally cool. I mean, they're not even putting memes on shirts, nothing creative. They're just stamping a logo on a shirt, on a mask. Very low quality items, right? Totally cool. Like, the community's cool with it. Let's go buy ZWC merch. Let's go, right? Now, when the website that supports the players that go for high rounds and we help them grow by linking their videos and stuff on the website, when we do exactly the same thing, people's brains just start leaking out of their ears. I don't understand. I really don't understand. I don't get it. What's the difference? Yeah, and you start getting called sellout. And the whole point of this merch store was to make the website self-sufficient so staff and admins could be paid. Doesn't make sense. Just
So yeah, to reiterate a point that you brought up earlier, is that you wanted the staff to be paid. And this was your one solution of doing so that making it so that instead of running at a loss, now you're actually able to profit.
Exactly, but
or maybe not profit, but be able
not,
to
yeah,
pay
pay
the staff
people
and to put
fairly.
all the money back into the site without taking a loss.
Exactly, and again, like I don't know, man. It sounds like he wanted to release a merch store for Easter. I'm sure it wasn't the same merch store. I'm sure it was his own personal merch store. You know, maybe he was going to have a leaderboard of him having the most records in the world on the back of the shirt or something. Who knows? But just failed to communicate the fact that his friends Norman and Ceomix added the button to the website and everything. It doesn't seem like they knew what his plans were for Easter. No one knew. Yeah, it's just a ridiculous situation. Very silly, just very silly stuff. Oh no, but no. Let me show you. So this guy, Axel Berlin, right? Like, he's a great leader and all that, but his one weakness is anything will bother him. So let's go on Twitter, and I'm going to show you the meme that broke the camel's back, so to speak. Let's go on Twitter. So on Twitter, look up Tom Fantasy. Yo, I would give anything for IMZ to join the call. IMZ has been like the biggest victim of Axel Berlin. The guy literally got banned and got all his records like stripped away so that Axel Berlin would be the guy with the most world records in the world. I would really like to hear IMZ's perspective in all of this. If he's willing to join, I mean, this is open to anyone in the community to come and ask questions. So on Tom Fantasy's Twitter account, look at the meme that he made about the ZWR merch store. Show that.
This one? Or is it?
Where he takes a screenshot on mobile showing like all the shirts that like just showing the merch store. Yeah. If you go to like tweets and retweets or just like media on Twitter for his account.
Gonna get so much pussy with the ZWR merch.
Yeah. So basically he was like clowning on Axel Berlin. So this is the thing, right? Like, I'm a notorious troll, dude, but I'm like a little troll, like compared to some of the people in the community. Right now, the #1 memer and like the most toxic troll in the community is Tom Fantasy. This guy has been waging like a hate campaign against Axel Berlin since before he became the leader of the website. Almost like half his memes are just towards Axel Berlin. Axel Berlin has like an account on Twitter, and dude, anytime anyone says anything about him, I don't know how he does it, but he finds out instantly. So like these memes that like Tom Fantasy makes, you know, attacking the website or attacking Axel Berlin for the merch store, or like what are the other memes he made out of him? Look at him, like, yeah, he he reposted what Axel Berlin said when he quit. Like, Tom Fantasy has been memeing on Axel Berlin and so many. You know, he thinks, I don't know. It's like, I guess we would have to ask Tom Fantasy why he does it, but I'm pretty sure he just thinks people act like clowns and then he just memes on them like really hard. Like, look at that. He put like an anime background and made a meme with like his face and like Aladdin. Don't fully understand why Intuit Scott is there, or why there's a picture of me when I was 16, like the Vizier. But it's what he does. I mean, this is the culture of the zombies community. People make memes, people troll, you know, people do what they do in the zombies community. And, you know, when you have like a leader that just starts wanting to micromanage people and control them, and like he's a neat freak and everything has to be on a schedule, like, you know, just guy ended up losing all his marbles.
So I say, one thing I think I brought up before, but I want to go into greater detail. Clearly, like, you've shown you're trying to do what is best for the site. You wanted to open this merch store to pay for staff and
Admins.
for admins, so that the
staff
site
and
isn't
admins.
running at a loss at your expense
Or anyone's expense, yeah.
Obviously, Zio Exo Berlin, Norman, they're, for whatever reason, they're upset and they want full control of the site. They want to, like they've said, to buy out your portion of the ownership or to start their own site.
Right,
So,
yeah. ZWR is trademarked, so it's trademarked, it's intellectual property. I have a bank LLC just for ZWR for tax purposes and everything. So I guess in that sense, in like the legal tax type of way, it is a business. It is a business. The physical thing is like the URL, domain name, and the code. But yeah, they want everything. And I don't even know they know what they want to do when they have everything. I don't think they've thought that far.
So to them, tell the community and if you were to speak directly to them, you said that there were 6 or 7 different alternate solutions to where they can get everything they want. Why don't you go into detail each one of them and explain to them and explain to the community what you're offering?
So the first thing I would do is I would ask Axel Berlin, I would say, hey man, I know you're big mad. Just in your own words, express why you're so upset. What are you so frustrated about? And, what do you think we should do about it? What do you want? So I would immediately try to figure out what he wants from his point of view, understand his rationale, instead of labeling him crazy. And then from there, we would just go to the next thing. Like it would become like this diagram, right? Like this flow chart. Like if you're familiar with flow charts, like we would just have a flow chart of everything he's saying that made him do this and what he wants out of it. So we would just make a flow chart, and then it would be as easy as Axel Berlin just picking a endpoint on the flow chart, So if what he wants is the domain name, if he doesn't want to work together, I think for the community, the best thing would be if Axel Berlin, like the prodigal son he is, if he just returned back home and, we took the staff team that he stole in his like failed coup, if we just united it with the new staff team that replaced that staff team, if we worked together, if we had cohesion between the different websites like Zombicus, ZWR, Zombie Community, working together is free. And, doing the right thing in life is free. Like, so if he didn't want to do that, if he's like dead set on he's going to buy the domain name, because, obviously he knows there's no other way around any of this, then I would hear them out. Like, how much are they willing to pay? What they think is a fair price? I go higher, he goes lower, we meet somewhere in the middle. Just, like the typical stuff. Maybe he doesn't want to pay anything for the domain name. Maybe he wants to get the domain name for free. Maybe I can give him the domain name for free. Maybe we can work out some sort of partnership where he gets the domain name for free and we split profits like 50-50 going well into the future. That would be a free solution. He would have everything he wants. We would just have to draw up a legal contract and get it signed by both parties with attorneys involved. That would be a free solution. Maybe he just wanted to quit. So maybe he just quits and gives back the original Discord and the original Twitter account where he's holding people hostage to promote the new website is not even up. Another nice thing that he could do would be he could return the leaderboards and the records that got lost in Germany, when he launched his failed coup that split the community. Even if we didn't make an agreement, just returning back people's records and leaderboards, shoot, man, that would be like a pretty positive thing to do for the players that got affected because of Axel Berlin and me having a disagreement. That would be something I think everyone in the community would want, just the records and leaderboards back. If he doesn't give them back, it doesn't change anything. They're being added back manually anyways, and progress is being made every day, so who cares? Literally just Axel Berlin could get what he wants like 6 or 7 different ways, and all of them would benefit the community, and he would be satisfied with the outcome. And I walk away from the community, I wave goodbye, and an order's restored.
And you would be fine with saying, all right, I'm relieving myself of the position I'm in. We've come to an agreement. We're doing what's best for the community, and you step out, like you said.
Yeah,
And
just like I was absent from the community for over a year. I can do that again. I have no problem doing that.
So to summarize, you're saying, to the community and to EXO and all of them, option one would be they buy out your ownership of the domain for a reasonable price. They get complete ownership of ZWR, and you're out of the picture.
If that's even
Option
what they
two-
want, right? Even
Yeah.
Again, I don't want people to think I'm asking for money. I'm not asking for money. I'm independently wealthy.
You're just asking for compensation for what
Just
you
fairness,
put in.
just communication, fairness, and a solution that is equitable for everyone. Berlin can have whatever he wants. Whatever he wants. He just
Option
needs
two.
Yeah.
Option two is they get ownership of the site without having to pay anything, and you get some sort of contract saying, all right, we split this much of the profits.
Yeah, I just
And
laughed
all you
because
do is you
I just
as a
laughed
way
because
of, instead of getting one flat down payment and being done with it, you say, all right, you get total ownership, total control, and as compensation, I get a little bit of the proceeds.
Right, we could split it 50-50, and it could probably take me like 6 years or 7 years to get just the crazy amounts of money that I've invested into the community and into the site. Yeah, we could do it that way.
And then
The
option three
reason I was
is,
laughing, just because I don't want people to think I'm like laughing at what you were saying. The reason why I was laughing is because I saw this new meme that someone made. It's from the movie Falling Down, and like they photoshopped Exo Berlin's face on like the cover of the movie Falling Down. The Falling Down is like this guy that works for a company, and he loses his job, and he has like a strained relationship with his family. So the guy just goes on a killing spree in like LA, and he's like wearing this suit with a briefcase and carrying around a shotgun. So that's why I was laughing, because of the meme Falling Down with Exo Berlin's face.
Do you want to send it?
So many memes have been shared that I don't want to get any, and I don't want this to look like personal attacks.
It's not about slander on either side. It's
Right.
just about
Right. It's Exo Berlin can have whatever he wants, any way he wants it. So many solutions can be established from every single angle, depending. See, all the guy needs to know is exactly what he wants, why he wants it, and that's it. If he knew what he wanted and why he wanted it, this problem would have been solved like 3-4 days ago. Like, I'm literally waiting for the guy to make up his mind and for him to just come to his senses so we can have an open line of communication. I'm flexible, I'm reasonable. I'm tired of being the guardian of the website and putting up with a community that is toxic, that is full of a lot of people that think they deserve things and they criticize everyone for trying. I love the community, and the website's definitely a passion project, and I would give anything to see it grow, 5-6 more times, just like it has in the last 2 years. I think the website will continue to grow as long as Call of Duty keeps making games every year. But I can also walk away from everything. It's fine with me. I'm busy in real life. I barely have time to even come online. Exo Berlin can get whatever he wants, however he wants it. All he has to do is talk. That's it.
So that's the message you're sending to Exo Berlin, to the community, is that you are completely willing to comply.
Exo Berlin can get whatever he wants, however he wants it.
As long as he talks to you.
Well, yeah, of course. Like, we need to figure out what's really going on and arrive at, a solution that makes sense. That's hard to do when one person's literally, shoveling dirt and digging a hole and burying himself under the earth, just hiding from the public and, buying himself time to come up with like some sort of statement where, nothing he says will justify what he did at the end of the day, right? like let's do a thought experiment. Let's assume I was like the most terrible person to Axel Berlin, right? Let's say I bullied him. Let's say I, mess with his self-esteem, whatever, right? Okay, that would justify him to get angry and argue with me or get revenge somehow. But does that really justify the guy to take down the website for the community, to delete people's records and leaderboards, to try to form a schism in the community, like a failed coup, a Vogue revolution? Does it justify him for any of those things? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I mean, every single move he's made so far has come from a place of being really, really butthurt, big mad, and just being a weak guy with his like feelings and emotions and how he reacts to things. Just cool down, guy, and whenever you're ready to talk, we'll talk, and you can get whatever you want, however you want it. And until then, the website can continue to go in this upward trend that it's always been going, no matter who the leader is. The community will always have its records and a place to find them for free. So it changes nothing. If he wants to be a big baby, from this point on, it doesn't affect the community anymore. The website's been restored. Everything's going to be added back. The guy just, what really bothers me is he's a good guy, I think. And he's just making himself look bad, honestly. Like, the guy's made himself look like the biggest baby ever. What he's done, no one's done this before in the community. Like, no one has like launched a failed coup against a website before. It's never happened. Yeah, it's unbelievable. All of this is just honestly unbelievable. All over some silly merch store. All this could have been avoided just by talking. No one knew what his plans were because he wasn't sharing his plans. Had no clue he wanted to release a merch store for Easter and have a marketing campaign for it. I'm just as confused as everyone else is. I made mistakes. I think I could have been maybe a little bit more tactful in my interactions with them. I mean, you've seen it. Like, I've sent him lots of positive messages, like basically like, telling him I was proud of him and he was doing a good job. Gave him all the money the website made, him and Zeomix. Supported the staff team with gifts. Supported his silly Halloween and Christmas events. Didn't say no so he wouldn't retaliate. Gave him the money, like a blank check. I've given the guy everything he's ever wanted. But what he wants is the imaginary power of the One Ring. And I don't know how to give that to him. I really don't. Especially since he doesn't know why he wants it, what he's going to do with it. And he's not even willing to discuss having the One Ring transferred to him. So, I mean, I guess this is what I would say to Axel Berlin. I would say, Axel Berlin, it's your move, buckaroo. And I think that completely summarizes the story. This will go in whichever direction that Axel Berlin decides for it to go. If he wants it to go into the legal arena and to be crushed in debt for being an idiot on the internet, it can go in that direction. If he actually cares about the community, he can return everything that was taken away from it, including himself. He can come back home if he cools down. If he doesn't want to come back home and he wants the domain, he can get the domain for free. He can get the domain by buying it. We can sign a we can sign a deal and, get a transfer to him for free. Whatever he wants. All the guy has to do is be mature, use common sense, logic, and reason, cool the F down, and start talking. See, this is like a personal belief that I have. I think that the greatest form of technology that humankind has access to is not nukes. It's not micro transistors. It's not electricity. It's not rockets that blow up on their way back down. The greatest form of technology that humankind has access to is language. Language is literally a form of technology that is not physical. Magic is real, but magic is not real in like the Harry Potter type of way. Magic is not real in like Gandalf from Lord of the Rings. Magic is real through words and actions. You can get anything you want in life. Literally anything. You can get anything you want in life if you can find the right combination of words and actions to get it. That's all you have to do. You find the right combination of words and actions, and the whole world is yours. Axel Berlin, for whatever reason, he's just very, very confused. He doesn't know what he wants. He doesn't know why he wants it. And the guy is being a baby, trying to destroy the sandbox, saying he's saying he's going to the beach. Just cool down, man. Cool down and let's talk. And that's it. Now, my message to the staff and the admins, just because Axel Berlin wanted to quit did not give him a reason to take down the website and destroy your option to even decide if you wanted to stay, you know, as part of ZWR. He forced everyone into exile. Like, he forced all the staff, all the admins to go his way. And he's promising them a website that he literally, legally cannot turn the lights on. So, you know, this is what I'm thinking, right? This clone website, which we saw on Google, it's offline. He wants to talk to a lawyer and get liability insurance before he even turns on the lights and makes it go online. He's going to realize he cannot do that anytime soon. So the more time passes, the more like the staff and the admins are going to be like, hey, Exo, like, you promised us a new site and all this. Like, what's going on, man? Like, we're your Discord friends, but we're not really working as staff or admins. And it's just like he kidnapped people with like no purpose whatsoever. So a lot of people are just lost in limbo and stuck in purgatory right now. I don't think there will be a site from Axel Berlin. Like, he would literally have to be stupid and like troll himself in like the biggest way into like a legal battle that's going to take months or years, where he's going to have to waste all his money paying an attorney. And, you know, me and him are going to become like really good friends, looking at each other's eyes through Zoom in front of a lawyer in the United States. I don't know, man. I really don't know. I wish I understood like the inner workings of Axel Berlin's mind, but, you know, without him talking to us, there's just no way of knowing what he wants or just nothing, man. It's just the guy's just completely lost it. So yeah, it's your move, Buckaroo.
So, do you think now, I think now would be a good time to open up to community questions.
For sure. Yeah, for sure.
Open up the chat, and I know a lot of you guys are watching, have lots of questions about what's going to be happening, about some of the things that have already happened. So, to those of you in chat, obviously, don't be rude. You know, the mods are watching, as you guys can see. We're all watching, but we'll allow you guys to ask questions. We just want to hear what you guys are thinking so we can address your concerns. And for some of you, if you guys are interested, one at a time, we'll let you guys join the Discord call.
Yeah, I'm looking at the list of users watching the stream. I don't see any bad people. Like, I see Steve.
I know we have a lot of big players. Steve, Scotty.
Yeah, I see Becca.
Greg FPS is still
Greg FPS.
lurking. A lot of
I see
big world
IMZ.
record holders.
I see IMZ. I see Scotty. You know,
Project Genesis is still here. He's been chatting. Pikachu's still here.
Yeah.
Pikachu, congrats on partner, by the way. Let me just say now.
After this, I don't think I'm ever going to bother again doing one of these discussion streams. So whoever wants answers can join and get their answers. Because as far as I'm concerned, it's just moving forward from here. If anyone watching is friends with Exo Berlin, the guy said he hasn't slept since he took down the website, that he's been having like really bad stomach problems. He's been crying. He's been angry. So he's probably up right now.
Kraken has a good question. So he says, are you abandoning the merch in ZWR?
No. So the only
Is
reason...
that something you plan on implementing?
Right. So the only reason the merch store has not been added to the website is out of respect for the players that lost all their records because of Exo Berlin. I mean, it would be like the most disgusting thing if the merch store was added before we even recover the leaderboards and the records that were stolen by Exo Berlin and his co-conspirators. So once everything is restored, yeah, the merch store is going to be added. And the plans for the merch store, like, we're not going to be selling logos on like slave labor fabrics made in China like Zombie World Championship is doing. I think a really good idea for the merch store would probably be like memes that the community makes, as long as those memes are not racist or illegal. Just start putting memes on shirts and merch, and it's something fun, something where like the people are not buying like the ZWR logo on a on a hat or something, because that's kind of cringe, but where the community is actually creating things that get put on all these items, and that's what people end up buying. We could do like world record shirts where like the back of like the hoodie is kind of like when the person got like the world record on like Ascension, or any map. So that's the future of the merch store, just something that's completely ran by the community, lots of memes, lots of epic moments in the history of zombies, and less about ZWR and less about stupid logos. And and hopefully that money can be put to good use for staff and admins, and even like doing like free gauntlets and free tournaments every couple months instead of like shitty Halloween and Christmas Easter egg, 4-player Easter egg, no jug, first room, whatever Exo Berlin came up with. So yeah, that's the future with the merch store, but we're not scumbags and we're not adding it to the website until all the hard work that is being done is finished. Dareson add Berlin's face on a shirt with a heart. I think the guy is so reactionary, he would like get a lot of people to report it just so the merch store gets shut down. So, oh, Shemley, you were the guy that Exo Berlin said was like the shame of the year, right? That was you?
Oh, I had one more thing that I wanted to bring up. So last week, when the site briefly went down and then came back, the staff page listed Exo Berlin with the title "Head of Being a Selfish Prick, Shame of the Year."
Yes, that did happen. Yep. So the developer that brought the website back online, because he was asking me what happened. He said, and you can tell it's like British talk. He said what was the title? Do you have a screenshot of that? Let's show it on stream, because this did happen. I just wanted. Yeah,
here, I'll show you.
Yeah, I think someone tweeted it out. Someone made a tweet about ZWR.
This, right?
I'm waiting for the stream to catch up. Let me pause it and unpause it. Oh yeah, so that part there that says "head of being a selfish prick," that was not my doing. That was by the developer that brought the website back online. I don't even use the word prick, because I think that's how people in England talk. So that part was not mine. However, the part right below it that says "shame of the year," I thought it was poetic justice to label Exo Berlin the shame of the year after all the stupid things he's done recently. So I labeled him shame of the year after he had already been labeled head of being a selfish prick by the new developer that is that restored the website and everything.
do you think it was almost like, I don't want to say immature, but do you think that this partially created more of a divide? Because a lot of people that saw, or that a lot of people that weren't informed on what was actually going on behind the scenes,
Right. So this
sort of
thing,
saw this.
so
and
this this thing was up for a couple hours. It was taken down like literally the next morning. So this was up like overnight, if you will, for a couple hours. Was it immature? 100% it was immature. Was it like a crime of passion? Yeah, I would say it was a crime of passion. Like the guy literally did like one of like the most selfish and dumbest things anyone has ever done in the community, and he got labeled Shame of the Year. And Shame of the Year was a term that he popularized because there was this other guy that was making like tools or something in the zombies community for like the Steam workshop of Black Ops 3 custom maps, something like that. And Axel Berlin banned him from the community and labeled him Shame of the Year. So that's what the guy was Blem. That's the guy that he named Shame of the Year. So yeah, it's just poetic justice, but definitely immature for sure.
it definitely didn't help the situation, you'd say, right?
No, not at all. And when I thought about it, like Amir, like he talked to me, he was Amir. Amir was like, "Hey Wings, you know, maybe this is not so cool. Maybe this is like going to put out the message so that like, you know, Wings is back to his usual antics." So when Amir explained it to me that way, you know, we had the developer take it down the next day. So that was up for a couple hours, you know, but obviously people found it funny and interesting enough to take screenshots of it. And that did happen. I mean, it was very silly and, you know, reactionary, but it did happen.
Don had a good question. He says, I see ZWR has a copyright notice saying 2018 to 2021 for the site. You spoke also about owning the LLC.
Mm-hmm.
Would the potential deals for the domain transfer also include the transfer of these, the copyright and the LLC? Or is that something you would still keep?
That's a good question. I guess that would be up to Axel Berlin. See, the thing is, you got to pay taxes, and taxes are really expensive in Germany. So it would be up to him. Like, that would be totally up to him.
So you'd be fine with either situation, whatever's more preferable for...
Dude,
for
I'm fine with anything. I just want things to go back to the way they were, and for me to just have to stop spending like 8 hours every day on Discord.
Do we want to let Cosmical in?
Anyone can join, yeah.
Cosmical is waiting in the what do you guys think? Should we let Cosmical in?
I do want to say, if you do let him join, just have the disconnect right above him, because
Yeah.
he's had a lot of timeouts in chat.
Yeah, people join,
Okay.
they just start screaming the N-word at the top of their lung. Everyone else here in the call, just unmute your mics, guys. I've talked plenty. Let's hear from you guys, and yeah.
Yeah, conversation has been focused on us, especially Dareson. Let's get everyone involved. Chat. You guys keep asking questions. I'm gonna bring Cosmical in.
Okay, just do one at a time though, and let's see how
just
one acts.
one at a time. So I'm gonna bring Cosmical in.
Yeah.
Hey, Cosmical, how's it going?
Doing well. Dareson, I have a question.
Yeah, I'm scared, yeah.
So, you know the people that think Berlin is the rightful owner of ZWR? What
The
would you call them?
The people that think Berlin is the what?
I think he,
What word did he say,
I think
though?
he said
the rightful owner.
The right, yeah.
Oh, the rightful owner? He can be the rightful owner if he does things the right way, yeah.
Oh, nigger.
Oh,
Jesus
My
Christ.
God.
just so
Let's
Twitch
do,
TV,
let's bring elderly in.
just so Twitch TV knows. Whoa, no, let's
I
you
knew
got to
it.
make a disclaimer when that happens. You got to make a disclaimer. Just so Twitch knows, no one in this call and the streamer Mr. JZM, the person who
Wow.
just said the N-word, was not any of us. So it was some guy that joined, and he sounded a little bit on the young side.
First one, dude.
Yeah, but you do have to make
All that coming. I warned you.
That's too bad because he's like a consistent viewer of mine, but I don't think I'll be seeing much more of him.
He was banned.
That's the that's the culture of the zombies community. I mean, that's that's the average user of the website. I mean, that's what it is. It's a younger kid that talks like that on the internet.
And drag.
Yeah, let's do elderly.
Jesus.
What's up, elderly?
How's it going?
Hello,
Hi.
Mandy.
What's your question?
Hello.
Wings or whatever you want to be called.
Dareson.
Dareson.
Mhm.
Can you give me some money?
Elderly, you used to have a different name. You were like an old staff member, right?
Yeah.
Adele. Yep.
Oh, Addo. This is
Adele.
this is Addo.
Andy.
Oh.
Hello.
You're a funny guy, elderly.
Don't fucking respond to me, please.
So who's joining next? If that's the only question you have.
No.
Here, does someone
I
want
was
to
just
link
trying to
the
say something to me.
Discord in the chat so that other people can join? I know a couple of people asked. Someone had a good question. So Wave Dude asked, Berlin, the alleged German owner, randomly decided to close down ZWR. What was his reasoning? So do we want to just summarize one more time?
He got big mad. And that's
Gregory's here.
he got angry.
Adele.
So
Who is,
let's go in order.
So
I would
that's
love to
dope.
know how to pronounce that.
Elderly,
name.
thanks
So
for,
Greg FPS is
joining us.
trying to join. Can we move him in?
So yeah,
let's
just move
let's go in
Greg
order because the
No.
in order.
Oh,
We're
alright.
really gonna ignore Greg FPS. He's trying to join.
I know. I
That's a
was
little
talking
bit
about
rude.
in order.
T-
But
but no, because
Okay.
TMA was here first, so we're gonna go in order.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
First question for you: how do you pronounce your name? TMABWIOTBT.
Don't read that. It's racist.
It's not. It actually stands for to meet a beautiful woman is one thing, but
Okay.
to meet your best friend, In the-
That's Bobo.
yeah.
Okay.
Hello, goddess.
Hello.
How you doing?
I'm very good. How are you?
I'm great.
Who just left? Oh,
Okay. What do Bobo? do you actually
what's your
have a
question?
Yeah, what's the question?
Oh, I need to have a question to be here.
Well, it's the whole point.
Is there anything you wanted to discuss?
Bobo, is it true that one time you drove all the way to Goddess' home and you broke into her room and you were sniffing her panties? Is this true?
What? Oh my God!
Um,
Don't even, Dareson. Don't troll.
I thought you said you were gonna be appropriate.
Okay, but he's like a big
I'm-
stalker though. Goddess, you said
No,
Bobo's like the
hey,
biggest
hey.
stalker.
Whatever happened to don't troll?
Oh,
Just
okay. I'm
stop.
sorry. But you said
Yeah,
he's
control yourself.
you said he's a big stalker though, right? Or is that like a
That's not
different
even
Bobo?
what-
Okay, okay. If this is gonna be the conversation, let's move on to the next
Exactly.
person.
So Bobo, what's your question, Bobo?
I just wanted to be enlightened about
Oh,
All right,
Later.
Greg, how's it going?
Oh my God.
Hello.
Hi.
Welcome.
Good. I have a question for Dareson, I guess.
mhm.
Basically I wanted to know like what is the difference between like being disrespectful and saying a lot of shit and death threats and saying like a bunch of ridiculous like hurtful things in DMs that I've had with you in the past, as opposed to trolling, because
Whoa,
I feel
whoa,
like you
hold
don't
on,
have a
Greg.
good
That's
example
Greg.
of
That is a
trolling.
loaded question, man. That's like asking someone, "Are you gonna stop beating up your wife?" If they say yes, they're saying what you're saying is true. If they say no, they're saying that what you're saying is true. So if you want to, if you no, Greg,
Let me read
Greg,
you the question.
Greg, no, you're not gonna read me anything. You can answer. You can ask me a question as a reasonable human being. If you're going to be asking me loaded questions full of BS like what you just said, I mean, you know where the door is.
Okay, let me rephrase the question.
No, don't rephrase anything. Just ask me what you want to ask me.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm going to ask you. So, in the past, me and you have had exchanges on Twitter, in DMs.
Who's writing all of this, Greg? Just ask your question, bro. Like, what are you doing?
I'm rephrasing the question so that it's not any loaded
Dareson,
question.
let him finish.
Just let me. So in the past, me and you have had exchanges on Twitter and DMs. I felt like from our discussions in the past that you were saying hurtful things. What is the difference between saying hurtful things and trolling?
Okay,
that's what I want to know your difference on,
so
because I feel like a lot of the trolls that you say are a little bit more than trolls. They're actually, you know, really disrespectful, and
okay,
like, what's the point on that?
I mean, I guess, you know, first thing, sorry, Greg. Second thing, to my knowledge, the most disrespectful thing I ever said to you was I told you that mouth breathing is very dangerous because it shapes your face, and someone who only breathes from the mouth, like there's a lot of germs coming in and the face starts to morph over time, that it's better to use your nostrils. This is when I used to join your chat and I would type that on like alt accounts, and you would get really frustrated and you would ban the account. That is the trolling that I've done to you on Twitch via chat and alt accounts. The mouth breathing comments. So as far as I'm concerned, that's the hurtful things I've said to you.
I have a question for you, kind of, I think, to elaborate on what Greg was saying. So you said, so you're admitting that you used to go into his chat and say whatever it is you were saying about mouth breathing or something, and you do that a bunch on alt accounts.
This is science, right? First off, this is science. You can go on YouTube and you can look up videos on mewing. That's what it's called, mewing. So the muscular structural part of the face is reinforced.
Okay, I don't give a shit about mouth breathing right now. I just basically want an apology, and I want to know what you think the difference is between being trolling and then being an asshole. I want to know what you think the difference is.
No, that's a legit question.
So my question off of that
let me answer his question.
Did you think doing that was
only do one
funny?
at a time, Jay.
I'll
Yeah,
answer
one
his
at a time.
question. I'll answer Greg.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
Greg, I would say there is a very thin line between trolling and being an asshole. I think trolling is an art form. Very few people know how to dance on both sides of that line. And unlike you, Greg, you know, I'm not trying to be a YouTuber because I know how to make money in real life. And I don't have this image that I try to protect on the internet. So I say what I mean, and I mean what I say. When someone personally attacks ZWR, something that I've cared so much about and tried to do so many things good for the community with it, when unprovoked, and you admitted this earlier in the conversation, when unprovoked you attack ZWR, of course I'm going to troll you, and I'm going to troll you to the exact precise degree that you deserve to be trolled. You were trolled about the mouth
Couldn't
breathing.
you just apologize? Like that's all I
Greg,
really want,
but
I
you're
guess.
asking loaded questions. You're saying stuff nonsense
I literally
about.
asked you to apologize. How is that a loaded question?
No, there's no need to get so emotional, Greg.
You admitted that you came in my chat and called me a mouth breather 70 different times or whatever it was.
No, it was way
Couldn't
more
you-
than that. So
Okay,
it was
so
70.
couldn't you apologize
it was-
for that? That's all I want.
It was 70 different accounts that
That's
were alts,
I just
but it
want
was
you to apologize.
the
That's
mouth-
literally all I want.
the mouth breathing comments.
Oh my gosh!
Dareson,
Apologize! Holy crap!
So
it's so easy.
so Greg.
Oh nope, I'm not.
I'm
gonna sit
sorry.
here.
Listen,
not
you're not gonna let me
apologize.
apologize, dude. I literally said sorry, and the guy still left.
Okay,
Wow.
It was Dareson. That was not genuine. Like, listen.
I was starting my
here's the-
apology.
here's the thing.
I literally said I'm sorry, and then the guy, as soon as he heard the word sorry, he
But
clicked
then right
off.
after that, you tried to talk about the science of mouth breathing, and then you said that you felt that you trolled him to what he deserved. Why?
Well,
If somebody criticizes the website, why do they deserve to be trolled like that?
See, this is the thing. This guy throws the rock and then hides the hand. If we went,
Dareson?
if we,
Dareson?
yes,
Dareson?
mm-hmm.
Just apologize, dude. Like, stop beating around the bush. Just full on. Let's see if we
All
can
right,
get him back
so-
in here and
all right,
just
so
have a
Greg,
sincere apology.
right? So
Yeah,
Greg
just
doesn't
relax,
want to
man.
join
Be
back on the
civilized.
Discord, but I assume he's
I'll
still
see if I can
watching.
get him back, but
You think you can get him
just let
back?
I'll
Alright.
see if I can get him back, but please just give a genuine apology.
I
man.
will.
Go on.
I will
Just
give him. I will give him his apology.
Don't beat around the bush. Don't talk about this or that and try to like off subject
What
it.
happened?
A sincere apology.
Oh,
Greg,
dude, I
laugh.
totally hear you.
I left for 1 second. And what happened?
All right, I'm dragging him in again.
Mm-hmm.
Dareson, I will mute you.
Okay.
Just sincere apology, dude. Come on.
All right. Greg, is that you?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. So, Greg, seriously, dude, like no jokes or anything. I apologize for, making comments that obviously bothered you about the whole mouth breathing thing. I would say I should have never done that. However, from my point of view, the reason why I even decided to turn the mouth breathing stuff into a meme and use it to
Dareson,
obviously.
he's not asking apology for
Dareson.
that. Stop beating around the bush.
All right, so
Even
I am.
if you don't
I am
remember
sorry.
sending the message to him on Twitter.
No, I remember every message I've ever sent. So because they've all been very well thought out.
Then
So-
just say sorry for that one particular thing. Again, stop trying to say this or that, going around it. Just say sorry for what he wants. Like,
So, Greg, I'm sorry about the mouth breathing comments that I typed in your
again,
Twitch chat.
Dareson, that's not what he's talking about.
What is he talking about then?
No, I am talking about that and just in general anything hurtful that he said to me.
Okay, I'm going
Like,
to.
originally I wanted to know what the difference was between being an asshole and being a troll. And I guess everyone has different views on what that actually means. Like you said, there's a thin line. I personally don't think so. I think that if you call someone, a name as opposed to being friends with that person and calling them a name, that's
Mhm.
obviously a different thing, like I don't really know what, thank you for apologizing for saying the mouth.
Oh, I haven't
thing.
apologized
That's
yet.
enough.
I want to
Oh,
get
I
to
thought
it,
You did. Okay.
Greg.
Okay. I
So
just don't want you to go on and explain
no,
why you
just-
did it.
just let me apologize first, and then I want to ask you questions. Is that cool?
Yeah.
Okay. So, Greg, I'm sorry for making so many rude comments, trying to troll you and piss you off. That went above and beyond the art of trolling on the internet, and it went into asshole territory. And I was definitely an asshole to you.
All right, there we go.
Okay. Thank you.
There.
So, Greg, what I wanted to ask you, man, because every single person I ever troll online, it's always been because, they launch some sort of attack first. So, what I want to know, Greg, is why were you doing all the stuff you were doing, like trying to get people to not go on ZWR using like your big following on YouTube and Twitter and all that. Like, what was the motive behind all that? Why did you do that?
There's multiple different reasons. At first, like I used to get records, and then I think this was before you on the site when like Tina Grau ran it with like MASH and stuff.
Don't say the N-word, dude.
T Negrau. I would never say the N-word. Is it true that they ran the site before you acquired it?
Yes. So the full list of Succession: Sithbass, Firefly 64, Mash Manos, Tina Grau, Dareson, Zeomix, Axel Berlin. That's the full line of Succession from start to finish.
Okay, so originally with CWR, it was when MASH was owning it. Basically what would happen is I would get a record, it would not get uploaded for like a week, and then they would beat the record, upload their record first, and then my record, so I could never get first place. That was the first issue I ever had with ZWR.
So
regardless, it doesn't matter now.
Well, no, Greg, but that issue was not with ZWR. That issue was with ZR. So ZWR is so when I bought ZR,
I get that the name
I changed the brand to ZWR.
Okay.
So if that was before me buying it, you got trolled by Mash Manos and Tina Grau, and that was Zombie Records. That has nothing to do with ZWR.
Okay, well that was the first issue I had with the record website, whether or not, like, I guess the name doesn't matter. So
but it does, because it's two different completely different administrations.
Okay, so there's different names, different people, and then I said something not knowing that the power had been transferred to you, that I didn't like using the website because I thought it was biased. And that's basically what I said on Twitter. And then one thing led to another, DMs, probably on account that got banned.
No. You were always
messaged. I never talked on that account because it would show DMs on Twitter.
Dude, you literally remember the white logo. The messages came from official ZWR when the logo was white instead of gold. I remember this like it was yesterday. You know, the DMs between you and me were from official ZWR with the white logo. You know this, Greg.
Well, like you're even saying there was DMs, but there's nothing there. And if DMs can't get deleted, then they would appear.
Did you say that some of the accounts you were tweeting from, Dareson, didn't you just say that some of the accounts you were tweeting from have since been banned?
No. So Greg is one of those people that has the setting where you can only direct message them if they follow you. At least back then that was the case. Is that still the case, Greg?
Yes.
Okay. So the DMs that you received were from ZWR, official ZWR, on Twitter, because that was the account you were following. All my other alt accounts, those were accounts that had like 3 or 4 followers. There's no way on earth that you were following those accounts. The messages you will receive were from twitter.com/official ZWR when the logo was white, because you do have that setting where no one can DM you unless you're following them. And last time I checked, you don't follow that many people, do you?
No.
Okay, man. The logo was white. That's where the DMs came from. I don't understand why you're saying you can't find them. I would log in and look at the DMs if I had the password and email.
No, I just feel like it was on potentially a different account, but that's neither here nor there. It doesn't matter. But the reason that I have not been using the site in general is just because of bad experiences I've had with you in the past. And I feel like another reason a lot of people don't use the site is because of those experiences with you and you being toxic when you were trolling, but a little over the line. And that's the original reason why I personally don't use the site anymore. I may play games with people, get a record, and they decide they want to upload it. Yeah. And that's fine with me, you know?
So Greg, let me ask you something, because that's a very important topic. So when Mash Manos and Tina Grau were running zombierecords.co.uk, and they were trolling you by denying your records and beating you first before they accepted your records, right?
Yep.
And that was, that was the thorn stuck in the tiger's paw. Since then, have things changed? Do you still get trolled with your submissions or your friends who submit for you?
It doesn't seem that way, no.
So the main issue that you had with zombierecords.co.uk changed.
Yeah. As far as submissions go, like, it didn't happen anymore because I believe the reason is I got on a call with those people who were running it and was like every time we would get a record, then they would play, it wouldn't get submitted, and then they would literally come in my chat, say, haha, we beat you, all those guys, and then upload their record before ours went up.
Oh man, that's terrible. That's so immature.
So that was the original reason that I was kind of against the site, and I didn't know that it transferred, or I just wasn't paying attention or something, because maybe the site changed and got redirected or something. I didn't even know, and then I said something about it, and then you contacted me or whatever. We had the disagreement.
When I bought Zombie Records, I created a brand new domain called Zombie World Records. When I bought it, the domain was zombierecords.co.uk. I created a new domain name that ended up in .com because I don't understand why you would tie the identity of a website for a global community with England or any country in specific. I also got rid of that URL because the person that owned it, let's just say there might have been like stuff that I didn't want to be, that I didn't want anything to do with per se. So as soon as I got the website, that stuff that you're saying where people were denying your submissions and beating you and stuff, that never ever happened again. So,
yeah.
Ironically enough, when a troll bought the website, you stopped being trolled when you submitted games. Besides that, which that's a critique of Mash Manos and Tina Grau before it was even ZWR. What other problems do you have with the website other than I used to troll you and you don't like me?
I don't necessarily have problems with the website per se. It was just I had a problem with the people running it, and that was the reason. Like, I stopped using it because, like, of the interaction we had.
Okay, and dude, I mean, seriously,
that was my answer to the question.
Like, seriously, sorry about that. Mash Manos and Tina Grau denying you and trolling you and stuff. That's something that at least hasn't happened since I bought the website.
Now me and Mash talk regularly. Like, we're not.
Oh, dude, so that's cool. Like, you guys actually became friends. That's awesome. So, I mean, if you still go for records, I would tell you you're free to submit. If you're worried about anything, just use a VPN. So this is the way I personally use the website, right? Because I don't have access to the server. The developers have access to the servers. And, just to cover my own ass, right? Like, I always use a VPN when I go on the website. When I'm on desktop. When I'm on mobile, what I do is I hit airplane mode, and that changes the IP on your phone, and I'm not connected to the Wi-Fi. So under 4G, after hitting airplane mode, that's how I visit the website on mobile. So if you are no longer getting trolled with your submissions, you can submit again. And if you're worried about like internet security and all that stuff, there's a free VPN called Hide My Ass, which is a Google Chrome extension. It's Hide My Ass HMA, and you're free to you're free to use a VPN when you access the website, or just use 4G network on your cell phone. And again, dude, I did not know. Like, see, this is why communicating is so important. Had you told me that you were mad because the previous administration, before ZWR became even ZWR, had been trolling you with your records, I would have said, hey, dude, that's not happening. I own the website. That's not happening anymore. But you never told me that. You just attacked ZWR, which was like the wrong website. It was the wrong domain name. We had nothing to do with the previous administration. So, it's one of those things like, yes, I'm sorry for trolling you, all of that started because of the comments you made attacking the website, and the website you were attacking was the wrong website because it didn't even have the same administration. So, you know, it's kind of, I mean, Greg, would you say that we both made mistakes?
I mean, I guess. I mean, like, one thing, like, I saw the tweet about shooting up ZWC3.
Oh my goodness, here we go again. Uh-huh.
Yeah. It might have been from someone else,
Mm-hmm.
but it was portrayed in the way that it was coming from you. So that could have been another reason why I decided not to use the website, because I saw that. Regardless if it was actually you or someone else, that would be another reason why I wanted to stay away from that.
I
That would be
understand,
the
Greg.
only other reason why I wouldn't use the website.
I understand, Greg.
And I haven't used it since.
Before you joined the call, you're watching the stream, didn't you hear a guy come in here and say the N-word? Didn't you hear another guy
Yes.
that came in here with like some sort of acronym name that spelled out like a racist poem that started out like really innocent and just ended in like pure racism? Did you just not hear those guys trying to troll before you came in here?
No, and I would definitely say they were trolling. I came in
Yeah.
here with a legitimate question.
No, that's not what I'm
and
saying,
you
Greg.
answered it,
Greg,
and you apologized.
Greg,
Yeah, what does that have to do with
no,
it, though?
Greg, that's what I'm trying to explain to you. I'm trying to explain to you this is a community full of trolls. Like, you can't
No,
even
I
open the
understand that.
floodgates to a discussion because the people just come in here trying to say the N-word and spell out like bigotry and stuff. So it's a community that has a culture of trolling. I'm not the only troll, and seriously, sincerely, I'm sorry for making those rude comments in your Twitch chat. You know, and
yeah, and I
there's
forgive
no
you. Like, it's
and
fine.
there's no justification, Greg. So those bean comments that I made, you know, about the mouth breathing and everything else, they're not justifiable, right? Because you talking crap about ZWR, thinking it was like another website, it does not justify being insulted in that type of way. So I'm sorry about that. And even though it's not justified, there's still a reason for it. And the reason for it is not an excuse. The reason for it is just cause and effect. You made some really hurtful tweets, and you even told people not to use the website because of what happened with you and Mash Manos, which was never in my administration. And I replied to that by, you know, insulting you about mouth breathing and all that stuff.
Okay. Do you have any other questions for me?
Yeah, like, what do you make
we
out
all
of this
set?
whole thing, man? Now that I apologized, you said you forgave me. So I think we can move on from, from me being an asshole to you in the past. Now, what do you make out of all this Axel Berlin, taking down the website, cloning the website, copying the URL for CBC? What do you make out of all this?
I was not here for the whole discussion. Like, I think I missed the first hour. But as far I have no experience with Exo Berlin or anyone really.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I just want the community to have a website that everyone can trust and everyone can, post records. Because although I'm a YouTuber and everything and streamer, it doesn't have anything to do with me. I care about the community itself. I want the community to be successful. And if this website can help promote smaller streamers that deserve recognition, then I'm all for it. And
yes, Greg.
I think that that's what needs to happen, regardless of you doing it or Exo Berlin or someone completely different. I just want the community to succeed.
So Greg, do you understand that even though I own the copyrights, the website and the trademark and all that, and the URL domain name, I don't run ZWR? Do you understand that?
Yes.
Do you understand the website has a new leader that replaced Axel Berlin?
No.
No?
So there's a new leader now.
Yeah, would you like to speak to him?
I mean, is it Jay
No, it's Amir.
or is it someone else? Oh,
Here.
okay.
Let's ask him if he can join, because
It's magical. It's magical, Greg.
Here,
Goddess,
I
can you
saw a
move him?
question in the
Can you move
chat
him here?
that I wanted
Because
to
I think it would
bring
be
up.
important for the.
I feel like we discussed enough
Mhm.
now, where I don't really need to talk to him.
Oh, he
I
said
think-
he's joining. Let me see. 1 second.
I mean, it's not really a big deal.
Well,
I'm
dude,
sure other people have better questions.
You didn't even know there was a new leader. Let's, he said he's joining, so just let him join.
Okay.
Because
We
you've
get all the time.
you've had issues in the past with the website, doing stuff with your records and all that. So let's hear from Amir. Like, what direction are things going, and in that.
While we're waiting, I had a question that was brought up in the chat that I wanted to ask. So Don says, Dareson, he said, I'd like to know why Dareson would feel the need to mask his IP on his own website. Presumably, he doesn't view every website on 4G VPN. Why would he also encourage others to do so? Is he suggesting IPs and user data are not secure or being misused?
So Amir is here, and he's
Good
waiting to be
question.
moved in. Can you move him in?
Yeah, I can move him in 1 sec.
Okay. So I'll tell you how come I use a VPN and how come I only access websites on mobile via 4G after I hit airplane mode, right? So when Axel Berlin was running the website was hosted on the private server of Norman. Norman was the developer, and the website was hosted under his private server. I don't know if I want to go there. Let's just say I didn't trust them, right? I knew that Axel Berlin and Norman had it out for me, and anytime I went on the website, I used a VPN. So, in a way, I've had the same trust issue as a lot of people in the community have, and that's why I recommend to them just use a VPN or just access the website on your 4G network on your phone. Now I feel a lot safer accessing the website since Norman and Axel Berlin no longer host the website on their own private server.
I believe we're going to put a free VPN on the downloads page anyway, to help alleviate that issue, I guess. Too.
This is the new leader, Greg. Amir.
Makes sense.
Hello, Amir.
What's up, Greg?
What's up? Have you gone by any other different names?
My old name was It's Magical.
Yeah. So I originally banned you in my chat, I think, for
That was,
also trolling.
A year or two ago.
Yeah.
I wasn't trolling though, but I understand why you would think that.
Greg, would you say you have a lot of people that troll you?
Fair few. I wouldn't say that's not. I mean,
why would you think that is? Like, what do you think about like your content or your stream attracts trolls?
It's just the internet, dude.
It has nothing to do with him and everything to do with the community. Don't throw that way. That's not, no.
No. Obviously, the community has a toxic trolling culture. No, there's no denying that, right? But obviously,
And
some.
he didn't bring that on himself. That's just the way people are here.
So, Greg, with that situation, like if I remember correctly, I believe like you was doing a speed run or something, and I believed it was something went wrong or something, and I thought it was your fault, but you was blaming your teammate. So like, I believe what I said, you kind of got upset. So I can understand why you think I was trolling, but I didn't mean it in that way. If there's any issue on that.
yeah, I mean it's in the past,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, people make mistakes,
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Everyone
I realized afterwards that it hurt you or whatnot, and I tried to fix it, but it's in the past, I guess.
Yeah, well, I just hope you do what's right for the community. And
yeah, I'm not a troll. I simply came back because the website was down. I simply want there to be a website still for people to use, and I don't want there to be any issues like there was with, you know, when EXO was the head. I'm just here to make sure that everything runs smoothly and that the community essentially gets what they want. Like that's my only end goal here.
And Demir talks to the community. You know, he's very open. He's freely talks. He doesn't like hide.
I'm close with a lot of people. I make sure that, you know, if they've got any concerns or any ideas they want to suggest, you know, whenever people come to me, I make sure that stuff gets written down, stuff gets discussed, so that, you know, whatever the community does want happens, because essentially this is their site. This is not my site. This is not Dareson's site. This is their site that they want to use and that is there for them.
Okay.
Greg, there's someone else that would like to apologize to you.
Okay.
Do you know some guy, or maybe it's actually a girl, named Shelby?
That's Dad Won't Hug Me.
Yeah.
Dad Won't Hug Me. That's like a really good player, right?
Yeah, he's a good BO3 high round
plays
player.
GK.
Well, he only plays GK, yeah.
His name is Shelby.
Yeah, because I was just getting these messages saying that you guys also had your differences in the past, and he said that he's willing to apologize.
I mean,
would you feel comfortable with that if he joined and he apologized?
I mean, if he wants to, sure.
Okay. So, Goddess, if he's banned, I know he got banned in the Twitch chat. So, Mr. JZM, could you unban him from your Twitch chat? I think he was, what's his name? Neji Hyuga? No, was it Neji Hyuga? It's, no, Daddy Won't Hug Me. Unban him, please. And Goddess, could you allow him to come into the Discord? Because look,
here. He's already here.
If we can use this situation to just like mend things in the zombies community, not just with the website, but just, you know, between like content creators and world record players, I think that would be for the greater good.
Agreed.
I think it's better that everyone's in unity and that, you know, we're not separated or whatnot.
Exactly.
So let's move him in.
At the end of the day, we all just love zombies, you know? He's not in the waiting, I don't think. Let me see.
Like, it's not really a big deal. Like, I don't even really remember what it was over anyway. So, you know, there's been hundreds of people that have called me a bad player. I've never claimed to be a good player, so I don't really care. No.
So you think maybe that's what happened between you and Dad Won't Hug Me? He was
probably something along those lines. I don't know.
Because I did see like, do people clip your streams a lot, Greg?
Yeah, I've been taken out of context multiple times.
I saw this clip where I think you're like on Origins, and there's like 3 zombies that are standing still, and you have an insta kill, and you get hit by the first one. Then,
I mean, yeah, everyone downs from stupid shit. Like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, there's like this one clip that I saw that with insta kill and the zombies being like round 4, just standing, you went down from like 3 zombies. So there is like this Discord where people just kind of like post clips from your stream. So you definitely have a lot of people in the stream watching you that, you know, like they follow you, you know?
Yeah, no, trolls always have. I understand it's the internet. It's the career path I took. And
you said trolling's a career path?
No. Doing YouTube and content creation and streaming is the career path I took.
Yeah. And you know, and the only thing about it is that it opens you up to the entire internet, right? So
no, I understand that, and yeah, I understood taking the career path I have of doing content creation, that there will always be trolls on the internet. Like, you know, I understand that. I don't want this to be an apology stream or whatever. I'm sure there's better questions that would make more sense for everyone.
Like
So,
even Amir, right? Like Amir became the new leader, and you know, even he has been facing like criticism from some people and stuff. So yeah, just being on the internet and being in any kind of like leadership position, you got to be brave, Greg. Like you got to be really, really brave, because
no, yeah, I'm fine. Like, I get comments all the time. You know, it's whatever. I just basically wanted to mend our differences that we have had in the past, and I'm hopeful that one day I can use the website and we won't have any issues. And that's basically all I wanted out of this conversation. So I'm gonna leave, but thank you.
Don't ever
Greg,
feel worried about, you know, that whole record thing that you mentioned earlier. That's not gonna happen if you ever do decide to use the site again. I just want to make that known.
and that's not happening to you, Greg, or anyone else in the community. Even Exo Berlin, like Exo Berlin's gonna have all his records stay on the website. There's absolutely like no one's being punished through the website. That's very silly. And I know like in the past you had like some sort of problem with flags, right? Like you made a tweet saying you were not gay.
Oh yeah, that could have been another one of the issues where you changed my flag to a gay pride flag, which was very hurtful.
Yeah, and you made
I'm not gay.
And you made kind of like a slightly homophobic tweet saying that, you know, for the record, like you're not part of that LGBT lifestyle.
No, I just said I'm not gay with a picture of the gay pride flag with my name, probably.
Yeah, and stuff.
I would never say anything hurtful against that community.
Those type of flags also will never be a thing again. I will make sure of that.
Yeah.
For as long as I'm here.
Absolutely. So, Greg, there won't be any like LGBT pride flags, trolling nonsense ever again. And I just wanted to say sorry for that. I wasn't the one who did that, by the way, because I've never been a developer on the website. That was one of the, I think that was Naniko's, when Naniko's was a developer. He was the one creating the flags and putting them on people. But obviously,
yeah, Naniko's even made me a turtle flag once, like
calling you slow.
yeah. It's not a big deal, like
Yeah. So
it's
stuff like that won't happen again, Greg, and that's a second apology. Because you know I should have. I don't even know what I could have done to avoid that.
It doesn't matter anymore. Like, I have an American flag, proud American, and yeah, we can end the discussion there. But thank you for apologizing and.
So, Greg, I just wanted to let you know one thing, right? So, I didn't see this coming, that we were going to talk and we were going to work things out. If I ever message you, it's going to be through this account on Twitter. No DMs. Amir, who does the Twitter account belong to for the site?
That's owned by me, technically.
You're the only one who has the password to the Discord and the Twitter account, right?
Correct.
Okay. So if you ever get a DM from the new Twitter account, it's going to come from Amir. And if you ever hear from me again via any kind of messages, it's going to be this account on Discord messaging you. Okay?
Okay. Yep.
Let me just see if it works. So it gives me an error when I say hi to you.
Yeah, you have to add me as a friend.
All right, how do I do that? Do I right click you or something?
Right click on my name.
All right, so I right click profile.
Add friend.
Add friend. Let me see if it works now.
Yep, I got it.
It's still giving me some error.
Yeah,
right.
so now you should be able to message me, no problem.
Let me try. Let me see. Low. Okay. So only messages you'll get will be from this way. And that's it. And dude, thank you for being the bigger person. Thank you for accepting the apology of me being an asshole to you in the past with like the stuff in your Twitch chat and stuff like that.
I'm gonna go. I got stuff to do, but good luck everyone, and I'll see you guys later.
Take it easy, Greg.
Thanks for stopping by, Greg.
All right.
All right,
so
let's.
No, Greg
before
is
we,
actually like a really nice
continue-
guy.
Before we continue on the questions, there are 2 questions I did post in the ZWR discussion chat that I pointed out. So if we can get those answered, I don't know about the seal though, but that was still a somewhat decent question.
Yeah.
Do you want to read it out?
Yeah, Steel Devote. I got a quick question. What happened to the 2 Hispanic admins that were in the site? They disappeared like the other day.
Yeah,
There
what-
was a big, not big, some minor internal disagreements, I guess.
So, Amir, those, they're not Hispanic, they're Spaniards. Those 2 guys, Russian and Ivan, they were messaging me. You know, I explained to them I'm not the decision maker, so it's all up to you. He was asking for one like last chance to join the team. You know, since we're on the topic, would that be a possibility that if he joins and doesn't argue with anyone, he could be on the team? Russian and Ivan?
I think that it's definitely something that could be looked into. Because obviously, you know, everyone deserves second chances.
Yeah, I think he said he would only use like the Spanish home chat, and that if someone had ever said anything like mean to him, he would not like retaliate.
Yeah, I'll definitely be sure to, you know, talk to him about that or whatnot.
Okay.
You know, everyone deserves second chances, and
Obviously.
nobody's immune from that.
Obviously. I mean, could you let people know about our new developer and who he is and how he's getting a second chance?
Are you talking about bullying here, or
Bullying, yeah, bullying.
are you asking me to give backstory, I assume?
A little bit, yeah. Just so people understand how everyone's welcome and how everyone's getting a second chance.
Okay, well, back when I was staff, I didn't know the entire story. I was, I guess, told, not too sure if this is true, that he, I guess, hacked the site internally. And there were definitely some trust issues from what I could see from the admins and higher ups back when I was staff towards him. A lot of them didn't like him too much. However, you know, since for all that, he left, joined ZBC or whatnot, I've remained good friends with him, and you know, he's obviously now back as a dev. He's done good work, and again, he got his second chance as well as anybody else that, you know, has felt they've been wronged or whatnot.
Yeah, so we're stretching out the olive branch to literally anyone and everyone. If a ex-developer who like internally hacked the website twice, if he's been allowed to come back and have access to the server, you know, it's a fresh start. And yeah, Dad Won't Hug Me and Tom Fantasy, they're asking if they can join. If they can join the call.
Let's
go
hear
back
from
and forth.
Fleur Minion first, because he was here first. He's been waiting a while.
Okay.
Hello, Fleur?
Yeah, thank you for your patience, man. We appreciate it. What question you got for us?
Or yo, I'm representing like Fleur Minions. Yeah.
Yep.
What's a
So
Fleur
what's up,
Minion?
Dareson? A Fleur Minion. Basically, like, it's this whole cult of people.
Fleur Minion.
Fleur Minion, yeah, toxic. Yeah.
Sounds it.
You said
No, but
it's
I just wanna
a
discuss the
cult of
whole-
people that do what?
Dude, dumb shit. I wanted to like discuss the whole fuck Mamoon thing. You know
Mhm.
he's dead.
Say what?
I want to discuss the thing you said about Mamoon.
What it led to the fact of you saying that? Is what
Right,
he's
so
asking.
it had nothing to do with Mamoon. It all had to do with Phoenix, for it can walk, having like serious problems with me and constantly attacking me in the community. One night we were talking via DMs, after he had falsely reported and taken down some ZWR montage videos. And just to spite the guy, you know, there was a message that said, what did it say? It said, #fuckmamoon. Does that answer your question, Minion?
I'm sorry, but like fucking... I'm trying to think. Here, I had no script joining this.
Hmm?
Oh, it's all good, man. Just
let me think.
You can say anything you want to say, Minion.
Oh yeah, big ups, you know, #Cairo George and all that.
Thank you for joining us, Minion, and hopefully we'll see you in the future.
See, so he literally just joined to scream the N-word. Bro, the guy literally joined to scream the N-word.